There has been a race for the Barbados Derby every year since 1940, and even in 1946, when only 2 horses turned up to face the starter, the connections of the winner, Homespun, will tell you that their victory was no less sweet. It was not watered down. It was still all about glory in this race, for which you only have one shot to win. That's in your 3-year-old campaign. As Eminem said in Lose Yourself, you've only got one shot, do not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. And so great men and women have crowned themselves in this event. The great horses have gone down in legend for their exploits in the Derby. And this year, a full field takes their position, guided by these small men, experts in the pigskin, for the chance to be crowned champion of the Barbados Derby for the year 2023. It's another collaboration of Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., BTMI, and SportsMax, your home of champions, giving you the best kind of horse racing coverage anywhere in this part of the world. My name is George Davis, and my greeting to you is lustful. It is generous, as I welcome you to our coverage of the Visit Barbados Race Day for 2023. The Derby is the main course on the table. I'm not alone. How can I be alone when I'm in this fair isle? I have 2 of the nation's finest with me. CC is the lady in the middle, and the man sitting in the catbird seat on the outside is Patrick Saul Bellamy. Team, it is a great day, not just because great racing is in the offing, but it's also a great day because of the people who've been assembled to witness horse racing at its best, CC.
I am so excited. You know, you use the word lustful, and I'm just excited to be here with both of you today. It's a pleasure to kind of sit at this table and sit here in the Garrison Savannah to take on the Visit Barbados Derby Race Day. We've had an exciting day so far. Looking forward to more. You know, we just had the end of another race and the excitement in the crowd. I know, Salt, we were there watching and cheering along, so it should be extremely exciting. So that's my word. Yours is lustful. Mine is excitement and excited for the day.
Excellent.
Exciting is true, and we're getting to the exciting half of today's card, the second half of today's cards, where it says 5 through 8. It's a pleasure to be back on SportsMax, the home of champions. And as you said, the people, as you just mentioned, we just watched another race won by the people's champ. So it is the home of champions, and I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely so. So a popular winner, the People's Champ, was. CC, before you run on down,
Yes.
we must tell the viewers that you'll be handling several of the interviews that we'll be doing over the broadcast today, of course, using your local knowledge to very good effect. Horse racing has a special place in the hearts of Barbadians. I was here for the Sunday in Barbados Gold Cup. I'm a horse racing junkie. I've never seen anything like that anywhere in the world, and I've been to races more places than Jamaica, where I'm from. And I just want to ask you, as a person who loves sport and loves exciting things, what does horse racing mean for you particularly, and this celebration of sport?
I think it's such a great event because, you know, whereas we are here in the stands, usually for, as you mentioned, the Gold Cup Day, people are just lining the streets. They're lining the outer rims of the racetrack. The families are there, friends are there. You're seeing toys being sold because it's such a great day for Barbadians of all walks to come and take in. Whether you're a true race fan or not, it's just one of those things that when you're here, it's electrifying. The air is electrifying. The people around, it's just an electrifying event that brings out all walks of people, whether they're visiting Barbados for that specific event or you're a local Bajan, like I said, on the outskirts or in the inside of the stands. So for me, racing is just one of those things that, you know, we have the rugby club here. And my dad was playing rugby for many years, so it brings back memories of being here as a child, just here at the Garrison and seeing that, so having the race day excitement as well. So for me, it truly is a memorable moment and just truly electrifying, something that you can't replicate not by the TV. You have to be here in Barbados to experience.
Salt, another strand for you to play with, because here's the thing. The Derby is special anywhere in the world because you can only compete in it once.
Yeah.
You can run in every other race multiple times over your career if you stay fit enough as a horse. But the Derby is one shot, only one time. And as I said in the intro, there was once in 1946 when only 2 horses faced the starter in that year. And from 1940 up till 1982, 1982 was the first time 9 or more horses competed in the event. So you didn't have big fields for the bulk of the Derby's early history, but you can't tell anyone who won this race many years ago that this was a special achievement, that their achievement is somewhat watered down because they didn't have a maximum field. That's how special the Derby is.
I compare it a bit like the Olympics versus the World Championships per se. So everyone tunes into the Olympics and they're thinking, well, this is the biggest and the peak of the 100 meters finals or the 200 meters. But World Championships is where the die-hard fans will really come out, and that's what happens with the Derby as well. To win a Derby, especially in Barbados, you are going down in history. You're going to be written about in folklore. As you said, you only have one chance. You only have one shot. You got to make it.
Absolutely. So, CC, the fact is that horse racing is unique in many respects because, well, it's unique because it's the only sport where two athletes are competing at the same time, the horse and the jockey. No other sport has two athletes competing at the same time, especially two from well, you have a human athlete and an equine athlete combining. Because of that, there's a certain intrigue around the spectacle of watching a little man or a little woman, body weight 90 odd pounds or 100 pounds, riding an animal going at 40 miles per hour. That's 1,200 pounds of muscle and menace. And that in itself has a special attraction to it, is the point I'm making.
I think the word that, when we talk about vehicles, we talk about horsepower. So there's a reason that horsepower has been used throughout technology as well, because to have that, like you said, 90-pound man or woman sit up is a beast.
Absolutely.
When you hear those hooves coming down and you see just the, like you mentioned, the sheer muscle and the coat is glistening in the Barbadian sun, it's just truly like one of those things. It's like, wow. And a man is on top of there, a woman's on top of there, and they're controlling and back and forth. It's just one of those things that it has to be such a symbiotic relationship. There's no leader and horse, man and horse. You have to become one to truly, as you say, take that one shot and go down and finish and hopefully win.
Yeah, Patrick, I've been speaking to a lot of railbirds since I've gotten here because you know that they have the best information.
Always.
And they've been saying to me, well, George, and they've been giving me all sorts of horses. So I've gotten different opinions from different railbirds about who is likely to win. The one area of commonality across all of the railbirds is that the ground, the condition of the turf is going to be the great decider. Officially, when we came here this morning, it was rated as good to soft. The sun has been out for a few hours now, so it may be firming up a little, but it's still officially rated as good to soft. I wanted to give me an idea of what likely effect the ground is likely to have on the composition of the frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, when the Derby is finished later.
Well, I always take my cue. As I said, the sun is out, so we expect that the turf will dry out a bit. But I take my cue from how the horses at the savannah are going down to the gates. And I noticed that they're still going down on the sand track, which indicates to me that the ground is softer than they would like, and they're trying to preserve it as much as possible for the for the Derby. Having said that, that means that the horses that like a little bit of a cut in the ground will definitely have a better chance today, or should find the conditions a bit more favorable. The last time you were here for the Midsummer Classic, there was some moisture in the air, and we saw what happened then. So we look out for that as we approach the Derby. That's race 7, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And CC, for those who have dressed in their finery, others who've just come because they love horse racing, there's a particular thing about a day out at the races.
Yes.
A day out at the rugby is special, a day out at the football, at the cricket. But I'm suggesting to you that, and I'm biased because I'm a horse racing man, I'm suggesting to you that a day out at the races with all of what it combines, royalty, revelry, finery, entertainment, food, and then watching the spectacle of a man and a beast, or a woman and a beast, as one, as you said, that's what makes the experience today of the race, the Visit Barbados race day, particularly alluring.
It truly is, and walking around earlier today and seeing people, they're talking, Salt and I had it off camera, we were like, well, who are you? There's that kind of friendly competition, or whether we're coming together to be like, yeah, and he's going to give me the insight because he knows what the track is like. But, I heard earlier today, and I was down here, and I heard the guys down there who were here for training sessions. So it really is one of those things that bring people together. And even if you're competing, you're saying, oh, my horse is going to win, it's all in fun. And I think that's what Bajan culture is all about. We go back and forth as well. So it truly is a really great experience to be here.
Excellent. So, all right. So our first break is upon us. We are covering the Visit Barbados Race Day 2023. The Visit Barbados Derby is the feature event on the card. Can you tell that I'm excited? It's my first Barbados Derby, and based on the hors d'oeuvres, I'm really looking forward to that main course. We take a break. When we come back, CC will be in another place, but she'll be working hard in concert with myself and the Salt. Welcome back to SportsMax's coverage of the Visit Barbados Derby race day for 2023. Did you know that the first Derby run in 1940 was over 8 furlongs and 200 yards? It was won, my friend Patrick Salt Bellamy, by a horse called Television. And here it is that we have big-time television in the Caribbean. SportsMax, your home of champions, being here to cover the Derby this year.
I wonder how prevalent television was back then.
You should have asked your great-grandparents if they had television in 1940.
They probably didn't. But interesting that they have such a history for the Derby. And as you said in the beginning of the broadcast today, people all over the horse racing fanatics, they've been stopping me. I haven't been able to get down to the garrison. You know, it's crop over time here. So I've been very busy at all the parties. Coming off of a boat ride, believe it or not, a policeman stopped me and said, I got a horse for you. So I'm keeping that one in my back pocket until we get to race 7.
In your back pocket, my friend. All right, let's review the first 4 races on the card. We are getting ready for race 5. We're going to give you the betting on race 5 in short order, but let's just take you through the first 4 races. I can tell you, my friend, that trainer Eddie Walcott Jr. has already struck twice, and Rashid Hughes has also struck twice. Speaking of Rashid Hughes, he opened the card with number 8, Mirror in the Sky, in the first race. The first race was over 1,570 meters, as approximately 7.8 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. And number 8, Mirror in the Sky, won that one, beating number 2, Impeachment. Number 3, Red Eagle, was third. Red Eagle, a winner on the last occasion. We were here together on July 1. And the horse finishing 4th in race 1 was number 11, Rite of Passage. Then in race 2, the winner, Moondust. Let me tell you, that was the most impressive performance of the afternoon so far, Moondust, because guess what? Bred by Gay Smith, owned by Gay Smith, and of course Eddie Walcott Jr.'s first winner, Antonio Bishop, in the irons. The moment the man let them go, the bell went. Moondust was ridden very aggressively to the lead. So, of course, she got the rail run. She was drawn in 2, so ideally drawn. And she took the shortest route around. But she left the gate like a bat out of hell, and they didn't see her until she was being pulled up after passing the finish line.
5.5 furlongs.
It was a devastating performance from Moondust. Very impressive. So she won race 2.
Was the time good, though?
No, because the track is slow, as I said, as I was indicating. So the time wasn't impressive, but visually, the performance was really worth something. So Moondust, number 2 in race 2, beating number 10, Major Bobby KMP. Then the 3rd place finisher in race 2 was number 5, Rare Nickel. And in 4th place was number 8, Vita Rosa. Then in race 3, over 1,800 meters on the turf course, the winner, number 5, Simba, a gutsy performance in that race, Assault, taking the lead down the backstretch and repelling the very strong challenge of the favorite War Party all the way to the finish. So Simba, number 5, winning race 3, beating number 1, War Party. In 3rd place was number 4, Manx, who ran in the Creole Classic and helped to prompt the pace in the Creole Classic before fading away, finished 3rd in race 3. And in 4th was number 6, Leia. The fractions in race 3, the quarter in 26.3, the half in 50 3/5 of a second, 6 furlongs in 1 minute 17 and 3. They went a mile in 1:44 2, and they finished for 9 furlongs on the turf course, 2 minutes 2 and 2/5 of a second. Yes, the time is slow, but the going is really, really challenging out there on the track. The 4th event, the St. Lawrence Gallop Handicap, over 1,800 meters, again 9 furlongs on the turf course. The winner there, as Saul told you, People's Champ, a very popular winner here at the Garrisons this afternoon, beating number 1, War Eagle. In 3rd place was number 3, Nilos, and 4th was number 2, Rapunzel's Dream.
Yeah, that race just now, race 4, brought the Garrison Savannah, the grandstand, to its feet. As I said, popular winner. You can tell that just by the stretch drive between that horse and War Eagle coming down. A lot of people wanting People's Champ to win, and happy to see People's Champ in the victory circle this Saturday.
Yeah, and the measure of the fact that that race, the 4th race, the horses are cut above those in the 3rd race. Same distance. Yeah. The 4th race was completed in 2 minutes 2 and 2/5 of a second, where Simba won. The final time in the race won by People's Champ was 2 minutes 1 and 3/5. Yeah. So a full second faster than Simba won over the same distance. So these horses, of course, better than those.
People's Champ, and they seemed fairly pedestrian in their run as well.
And they seemed fairly pedestrian, and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
All right, the 5th race is where we're going to start our live race coverage. It's the Kadooment Sprint Handicap. It's over 1,100 meters, 5.5 furlongs. You're getting a shot of number 1, Afternoon Delight. Sean Hazelwood will ride for trainer Robert Pierce. And number 1 on the board is at 3-2. Well, new flash on the board, 7-5 for number 1, Afternoon Delight. Number 2 is the Code. Ricky Walcott rides for trainer J.M. Cozier. That one is at 2-1 the code number 2. Then number 3, Kariba Star. We tried with this one the last time we were at the races, but the rate didn't quite come through. 9-2, Kariba Star on the betting. Andrew Nunes, who won just now with People's Champ, looking for the quick double at the Jamaican trainer. Number 4, Show Me the Money, is at 3-1.
Show the money.
Show the money, beg your pardon. Show Me the Money. I'm thinking of Jerry Maguire movie. Number 5 is Rio Ponte. Rio Ponte is at 5-1. Bellamy rides for Pierce. Is that your brother?
I wish.
You wish. Number 6, a Solar Kitten. Number 6, Solar Kitten, is at 8-1, rounding out our 6-horse field. So the favorite in the betting is at 3-2. That's number 1, Afternoon Delight. We understand that our friend Cece has an interview for us, and we go across to her now.
And here we are, a race day enthusiast, a fan of sport, in fact. And Dominic, tell us about your day so far at the first ever BTMI Visit Barbados Derby race day.
It's been a wonderful day so far. I think the BTMI is doing a great job by putting their money and their efforts and good hard work behind an event like this. I think there's a lot more we can do with horse racing and promoting it throughout the region and internationally. I think Barbados, not only do we have it's a great destination to visit, but I think as a sports tourism destination, I think there's a lot more that we can do, and this is a small step towards that.
Okay, so I know Gold Cup is a big race day here. Also, BTMI is heavily involved in that, and you did something special for the first time ever. So tell us about your Gold Cup Village experience.
Yeah, as I would have alluded to a couple months ago, I think it's an idea that I had for a very long time. I visit Ascot, Royal Ascot in the UK quite a bit, and I saw the idea and I said, well, this could possibly work in the Caribbean, obviously with a bit of West Indian flavor, and I think this year it was very well received. I mean, literally like 2 weeks afterwards, I had calls making reservations, people from overseas. I haven't even started putting away things yet, and we had interest for next year. So we're looking to do it bigger and better next year, obviously adding some stuff to it, and we hope to have all the sponsors on board as well.
Okay, and last question, who do you have for the big race? I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. I'm not going to give any names, I'm not giving away any wagers.
No name, no blame. Okay, so we're going to send it back to George and Salt and hear from them. So thank you so much, Dominic. And whoever you bet for, good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. The only thing wrong with Dominic Hill, Salt, is that he's a Liverpool fan. Apart from that, he's a top man, a good friend of mine, a good friend of the SportsMax zone, but his only flaw is that he's a Liverpool fan.
Well, we come on the same side there as well, so I'm a Manchester United
fan.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. For a moment there, I thought I'd have to throw you overboard.
We both come on the same side there.
There you go. All right, so as we told you, the betting for race 5, the 1 horse is the favorite. Let's look at the graphic of the field position, the draw, right? So Afternoon Delight, Robert Pierce with the training duties there. He is the richest horse among this 6-horse field. You can scratch a 7 Brenner Pass, who will not go. So Afternoon Delight being bet as if defeat is out of the question. So do you share the enthusiasm of the betting public at the Garrison today?
Most certainly I do. If you can look at the form on the left most of the page, this is the horse with the most form over the last 3 runs, and she has been on the Garrison as well. So I'm excited to see what Sean Hazelwood does with this horse around the circuit.
Fact is, my friend, that Sean Hazelwood has won 12 races all year, and 3 of them have been with this horse, Afternoon Delight. So they have a very good partnership. So I'm sure that has bled into the reason so many people have gone for Afternoon Delight to win this race.
The chemistry is just definitely there, and the history is speaking for itself. So the battle is really going to be for 2nd place then. We may have to discuss that a bit. How are you feeling about Kariba Star today? We were sweet on that horse the last time.
I was looking at the condition. I thought I detected a little bit of dryness in the coat. I never like when my horses are showing me that. There's a sheen on the hindquarters, but that's from the application of the sheen enhancer by the groom.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, you know, the first thing I'm going to look at, the bandages. Kariba Star has 4 bandages, and he's 7 years old. He's not a young boy.
No.
She's not a young girl, Kariba Star rather. 3 lifetime wins from 22 starts. A 7-year-old who has run 22 times, that does suggest that there have been significant problems keeping this one fit Andrew Nunes has had over the years. Only one run so far this year. That was a third place finish. Ran 7 times in 2022. Didn't manage a victory. Didn't manage a second place finish either. Best finishes were 2 third place finishes. So I think that Kariba Star today may find a few fresher ones, a few younger ones, packing too many punches for her. And the fact is, Assault, that the ground I don't think will help her either. I don't think the soft going in places will be to Kariba Star's best advantage in a race of this nature.
Well, the truth of the matter is that the only other horse that has a similar age to our favorite Afternoon Delight would be number 2, the Code. The other horses in the race is 7 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, and 7 years old. So we got a bit of a contrast here between the horses being ridden by Walcott and Hazelwood and the rest of the field. So maybe we look then at the Code, running out of gate number 2 and ridden by Ricky Walker, and only carrying 116 pounds.
Yeah, the fact is, though, when you look at the Code's last run, we were here, we saw that run on July 1. Ricky Walcott in the saddle, he returns for the ride. This horse led for a long way, and it was only in the final furlong, turning for home, that the effort took its toll over 1,570 meters with 118 pounds. And he blew up in the last furlong, absolutely blew up, finished 7th by 9 3/4 after leading into the straight. So something went amiss, or the journey was too taxing. Significantly shorter, significant reduction in trip from 7.8 furlongs to 5.5 furlongs. Still, well, comes in even lighter, drops 2 pounds from the impost he carried in that disappointing run on July 1. I think the Code is a serious threat to the favorite in this event based on those matrices rather.
Yeah, it's a sprint race and anything can happen out of the gate. We'll see how they unfold out of the gate, but I'm thinking it's going to be a 1-2 for 1-2.
There you go.
For number 1 and number 2.
The thing is, if I may go by the performance in that second race that I told you impressed me so much, when Moondust ran away from them, getting the bell at the gate and just making every post a winning one. It's possible on this kind of surface. However, usually when the track is as heavy as this, the horse that makes the pace usually finds things taxing in the last part, at the business end of the contest. Moondust was the exception. I'm wondering if Deshaun Hazelwood is going to try to make it gate to wire this afternoon, put Afternoon Delight in front and rock the field to sleep.
I expect that's what he's going to try to do. We're going to see how the rest of the field reacts to that tactic in this race, but I expect Afternoon Delight to head to the front.
In his last run on June 17 over today's trip of 1,100 meters, Hazelwood in the saddle once again. He finished second, beaten 4.5 lengths in that contest, being second for the whole way. Just couldn't get by the winner that day, but he had an excuse. On that occasion, Afternoon Delight carried 127 pounds, was giving 15 pounds to the winner, and fell 4.5 lengths short. Now, by the handicaps, if they were sitting at level weights, Afternoon Delight would have won by about 4 lengths. So this afternoon, he slips, or she slips 12 pounds. Reports 12 pounds lighter. So there's everything to suggest that this is an easy assignment for Afternoon Delight. But you and I know races aren't run on paper.
Yeah, we got to see if it's easier competition as well.
There you go, easier competition. So the handicapper has treated Afternoon Delight very well by easing her in the scales. The competition isn't as fierce, so it appears as if the public haven't gotten this one too wrong. But beyond those two, if I were to look at another horse, I'm looking at the horse number 5, Rio Ponte, this 7-year-old bay mare. 15 runs in her lifetime again, a 7-year-old who has only run 15 times. That does suggest that this one has been hard to keep fit, has been hard to train because of various issues. In 2023, this year so far, 4 runs, has been third 3 times in those 4 runs, has not won a race thus far just yet in 2023, Rio Ponte. But the form has not been too bad, has been showing early speed, so at least Afternoon Delight will have some competition over the first 2.5 furlongs for the lead, and it's a case of whether Rio Ponte is fit enough to do herself maximum justice in the afternoon by shaking up the expected order of finish.
Well, yes, but I look at the jockey here, and this is a second choice jockey, if not a third or fourth choice jockey. The other jockeys that have ridden and this horse over the past few trips have all opted for different mounts in this race, so that is indicative to me of how they feel about it.
Sometimes, and it's a very good point you make, but sometimes the late grade, and I still can't believe I'm referring to him as late, the trainer who's won the most championships in Jamaica, Wayne DaCosta, he used to be famous for having 2 or 3 horses in one race and put the third call jockey on a particular one, you'd leave that one,
Right.
go for the one ridden by the top jockey, and then you know who would win. The one with the third choice jockey
Yes.
pull that card sometimes. Not saying that Robert Pierce is doing that, but I'm just saying that it is possible, and there is enough in Rio Ponte's form to really suggest that a minor share may be her best hope, because on paper, Afternoon Delight and the Code look as if they have the field measured. There may be a slight delay to the start because the jockeys have dismounted. As Patrick said, if you notice, the horses are going down on the dirt track, trying to preserve the turf, and of course not to get them bogged down in the glue, because right now with the sun out since morning, there were early morning shows, because I think it was raining after 3 this morning when I woke up. Yes, it was. And so those showers would have added to the water that the Garrison would have taken on over the past few days, and it's a bit gluey on the track. So the jockeys trying to keep the horses away from that. And as I noted, there may be a slight delay because all the jockeys have dismounted as the horses continue to parade before being loaded.
I also noticed that almost all of the horses in this race in particular are carrying the bandages. I think with the exception of horse number 4, Show the Money, the majority of the horses out there.
There you go. All right, so this is our aerial shot of the Garrison. It's a fascinating place at the best of times. I've read and heard so much about the Garrison over the years. I experienced it for the first time on Gold Cup Day. What an introduction. And I've fallen in love. I've gone head over heels for the Garrison, Patrick. I must confess to you, my friend.
I realize the excitement in your voice every time you come back. This is our 3rd time doing a broadcast. Yeah, and third time coming here to watch a race at the Garrison, a race with this prestige. We've been to the Gold Cup, we've been to the Midsummer Classic, and I remember when you first came down for the Gold Cup, you mentioned this track is all curves, there's no straights.
Yep. Which is why the commentator says that there are no more turns at the top of the stretch.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are some spots on the surface that are wetter than others because, of course, it's a bit undulating. So if you can see on the dirt track, there's that puddle. That puddle was there yesterday when we did our feature that we played on the SportsMax zone. And with the early morning rain that we had today, that puddle, I think, if anything, has gotten a little bit wider than I saw it yesterday. There's that wet spot right on the track, right at the lowest part of our picture right there.
The paddock turn, yeah?
Yes, right there again. That's that wet spot.
And the first spot that we were looking at was in the middle of the home stretch. So if the turf is impacted in that way as well, they're going to have to look out for that on their stretch drives.
Absolutely so. So which is what I was saying. So when I came here, I was asking some of the railbirds. I was saying, well, the official listing is good to soft. Well, good to firm. But I think, well, good to soft, but they were saying, no, it's softer than that. So what is true is that it's good in some places and soft in other places. And, of course, the track adjudicator has given what he believes will be a fair description of the conditions at the going. But when you look at the time so far, Salt, and the splits of the races that have gone so far, clearly it's a struggle out there, which is why in the Derby, stamina is going to be all about stamina in that event.
Over 10 furlongs. I don't think any of those horses would have gone that far before. And as we said, it's like running on dead sand when the turf is so heavy. It's like glue. It's continuing to trap the hooves of the horses, and it gives more effort for them to get around the savannah.
Absolutely so. And the disadvantage that you have when you're running in the big race such as the Derby is that you're running several races later. So the track would have already been beaten up. There are no fresh spots on the track. There's no good ground left for you to take.
As the card progresses, you're going to see the jockeys taking their horses a little wider and a little wider out as lanes 1, 2, and 3 start to get a more cloggy.
Are worn. All right, let's look at the betting once again for the 5th event. The Canoemen Sprint Handicap over 5.5 furlongs. Number 1, Afternoon Delight, 8-5. That's your favorite. Drifting out in the market just a little bit. Number 2 is a 2-1, the Code. Tightening in the market, so the Code has been finding more friends in the betting market in the past few minutes. Number 3, Kariba Star, is at 5-1. Number 4, the money is coming in for Show the Money. The money is tumbling in for Show the Money. That one now at 2-1. Number 5, Rio Ponte, is being bet at 6-1. And number 6, Solar Kitten, is at 7-1. So, to show you how competitively this race is being bet, the outsider in the race is at 8-1. Solar Kitten. That's amazing. 8-1 is the outside bet.
It's a very competitive field.
And as I said, the favorite continues to drift ever so slightly in the market now at 9-5. Now, folks at home, you may be looking at those odds expressed as they are and be wondering, well, how do I read those numbers, 9-5? What it means is when you are at 9-5, it means you have 5 chances in 9 of winning if you're working it as a probability. If you're 2-1, you have 1 chance in 2. 5-1, 1 chance in 5. That's effectively what the betting odds are communicating, as the loading up procedure is well underway. Just 2 horses to go in from our vantage. They're right across in our direct line of sight. 1 jockey dismounted. He's taking his seat now. Number 6 is still out, so that's Solar Kitten.
Solar Kitten is still out, and Show the Money is still out.
Yeah, the outsider of the party at 8-1, and Show the Money number 4 at 2-1 is still out, as confirming what my partner said. All right, so we're waiting for them. We can go across to the commentator right now. We can.
We're backing Rio Ponte out. So let's see what happened there. See. We have just lashing out. I'm just not comfortable with something. And 9-5 is Afternoon Delight. 2-1. The code Caribou Star is in at 9-2. 2-1 on horse number 4. That's Show the Money. Rio Ponte, number 5, who's given a bit of trouble, is in at 6-1 and 7-1 on Solar Kitten. Horse number 6 has you have a thrower of hands there. Is trying to get Rio Ponte in. They have this twitch on her, and twitch on her, yes. And she goes in. We're waiting for Show the Money. It's a good crowd. Now come in here as we get closer to the Derby. And you can see Rashid Hughes aboard. Show the Money. He's already on 2 wins for the afternoon. I'm sure he would like to increase his tally by the end of the day, as hands are required again for Show the Money in blinkers. Horsepower versus manpower, and manpower wins out this time. So Show the Money goes in, and Solar Kitten will be the last to be loaded. Goes in. They're on the starter's orders, and away they go. And Afternoon Delight, which is the first to show, but going by now is the stable companion Rio Ponte. So it's Rio Ponte who's gone to the lead. Afternoon Delight is in second. They've gone on by a length now to the code, followed by Show the Money. On the outside is Solar Kitten and Caribou Star. Just about 4 lengths covers the entire field as they pass the 4 furlong marker. And out front it is Rio Ponte with a very light impulse of 109 pounds. Is in front by about a length. Here goes on the outside is the code. Afternoon Delight is packed up. On the outside, traveling very well is Show the Money. Then comes Solar Kitten and Caribou Star is their back marker. They've done the opening quarter in 26-3 as they run towards the quarter pole. And out front now it is the code now who takes the lead. So it's the code in front. From on the outside here comes Show the Money. Coming with a renewed effort on the inside is Rio Ponte as they turn for home. And it is the code in front. From on the outside here comes, on the outside here comes Show the Money. And it is Show the Money and the code is in front. The show. Down the stretch they come, and it is all over by the shouting. The code wins it. From on the outside, Show the Money. Afternoon Delight was third, then Caribou Star, Rio Ponte, and Solar Kitten in 109 and 1. In a moment, the unofficial placings for you.
2-4-1-3, 2-4-1-3. That's how they finished in race number 5. 2-4-1-3. Number 2, the code at odds of 2-1 getting the job done. Show the Money second. Number 4. Number 1, Afternoon Delight, rallied for 3rd place, and in 4th place was number 3, Caribou Star. 2-4-1-3. Salt, I don't know.
Yeah.
I suspect that the trainer of number 1, Afternoon Delight, Robert Pierce, is going to have some words with our jockey, Tishon Hazelwood, a very good young jockey. But I think he'll have to ask him, well, how come you lost 2 positions, 3 positions down the backstretch at a crucial point in the race? And it was that shuffling back that eventually left Afternoon Delight with too much to do.
Too much to do
make
at
up
the
the
end.
ground, turning off the final turn.
We had spoken a bit in the beginning before the race about Rio Pointe, and there are stablemates. We had thought of the fact that it was being ridden by Bellamy. I saw Bellamy take Rio Pointe to the lead, and I thought to myself, maybe this is the strategy. But as you said, Hazelwood, was it Hazelwood?
Tishon Hazelwood, yes.
Took the horse back too far to me for no delay, and then it just never seemed to fire. I don't know if it's the condition of the ground can be blamed a bit on it, but the legs looked tired after they passed the 2 furlong pole and started heading towards the finish.
I'm very happy that we've gotten this replay here, because I thought that he was squeezed for space and had to shuffle back, but he was not squeezed for space. Somehow he just lost ground around the turn, and by the time he got the horse to balance once again and start picking up, the code had gone, show the money had gone, and he ran out of real estate to run them down. So I'm sure Tishon Hazelwood would want this one back, not his finest hour in the saddle.
I do not believe so, but again, it's Ricky Walker that's reading the code, and Ricky Walker will find a way when there is a way. And so congratulations to the code and to Ricky Walker, all the connections of that horse. A very good victory here at the Garrison Savannah in the Kadooment Sprint.
Yep, Trainer James Cozier, Ricky Walcott, the Code's third lifetime win from this, his 19th start. You're watching the Visit Barbados Race Day 2023 here on SportsMax. It's our collaboration with Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., BTMI. And the fun has only just begun. We take a break, we come right back with more on your Home of Champions. Welcome back to SportsMax's coverage of the Visit Barbados Race Day 2023, the Visit Barbados Derby, the feature event on the card. My name is George Davis, working alongside the gentleman Patrick Salt Bellamy, and we've had one live race so far. That was race 5. I can tell the viewers, Saul, the children watching the broadcast especially, that horses trained in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have won the Derby 6 times. Have won the Barbados Derby 6 times. Horses from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
You're
6
educating
times.
me as well here.
There you go. The first one was Best Wishes in 1951, and the last one was in 1972. Give it a chance in 1972. So Best Wishes in 1951, 1972 the last time. So 6 horses from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm giving you information, my friend, so that when you are doing your trivia games, you can be sure to win some money.
It makes me wonder what became of horse racing in St. Vincent, though. You have any idea?
Excellent question. Economics and other things have taken over, and maybe available size to build a competitive track. Anyway, CC, our colleague, is downstairs with us, and she has another interview for us.
And here we are trackside with the winning trainer of horse number 2, Mark Jose. How are you feeling coming off of that win?
I always feel well. Anytime one of my horses win, it's always a pleasure to get a winner.
Now I see that you're here with some family and friends. So what day, how did you make this day special for you guys?
Well, I always try to encourage people to come out to horse racing and support horse racing no matter what. So a lot of new people I always tend to try to bring to the track, try to hopefully get them hooked and encourage them to get involved in horse racing.
So how long have you been in horse racing?
Well, I've been in horse racing from the time I was a baby. My family been in horse racing, not only in Barbados but through the Caribbean before I was born.
And coming off this win, what kind of preparation did you put in for today?
That's a secret. I don't allow my trade secrets.
A lot of hard work, though.
A lot of hard work.
And some secrets.
And a lot of spending of money.
And a cold drink.
And a cold drink.
All right, so here we are at the Garrison for the Visit Barbados Race Day Derby, and thank you so much. Congratulations. I'm going to come and get some secrets whispered in my ear so I can get a winning horse too, okay? All right, thank you so much, Mark. We are here more SportsMax, and it's going to be an exciting day ahead. Even more actions coming your way, so let's check back in with George and Salt.
Thank you very much, CC, as we watch the closing stages of race 5.
The
code in the center, and the jockey is in the ideal position. He can look left, look right, look at what his rivals are doing, to look where he needs to angle his horse to make the forward thrust of any dangerous rival that much more difficult. But he didn't need to do that. All he needed to do was keep a straight course, jockey Ricky Walcott, to get the job done. Number 2, the code. All right, let's look at race 6 now, my friend, because it's called the last lap. It's the last lap before the Derby. I don't know if that's why they named it the last lap. It's 1,570 meters, or 7.8 furlongs on the turf course, of course. Number 1 is Fly Me to the Moon. Kelly rides for Jay Simpson. Number 2 is Oberoi. Ex-Ford rides for Robert Pierce. Interestingly, every time I look at Oberoi, I feel a little bit sad.
What is this?
This is a horse, Oberoi, as we look at the graphic of the field. Number 2, Oberoi. This is a horse, my friend, that won a Midsummer Classic, that finished 3rd in the Derby in 2013. Well, he's 9 years old now, so it was 6 years ago that he was 3 years old. He was 6 years ago he was 3 years old. It was 2017. So in 2017 he won the Midsummer Classic, finished 3rd in the Derby, and he's here among these low-rated horses battling for relevance. That's why I'm sad when I look at Oberoi's career.
Yes, and a lot of unfulfilled potential, maybe some injuries.
A lot of injuries
in there as well, yeah.
Yeah, number 2, Oberoi. Let's look at the betting on the board. So let's start again from the top. Well, the betting odds aren't out yet, so let's just run through the field. So Fly Me to the Moon, number 1, Oberoi, number 2. Number 3, 17 Millionaires. Number 4, Gazy. 5 is Priceless. 6 is Jackman and the Gap. 7 is Cap Rocat. Number 8 is Scarface. Number 9 is Edelweiss. Scratch number 10, Riddick. Number 11, Life is Great. Number 12 is Super Heights. 13 is Shake Them Up Noble. 14, Visionary. And 15 is Ava's Girl in the 1,570 meters turf contest. CC, we here has another interview she has an interview with a representative from Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., our partner and sponsor for this broadcast. Let's go on down to her now. CC, take it away.
And here we are. Now, Team BTMI out in full force today, of course, and we're catching up with Keisha Springer. Now, Keisha, you have a very important role to play today, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm the PR and Communications Manager at the BTMI, and my main project today is the crop over familiarization plan.
Okay, so we are actually here at the races, but we are in the middle of crop over, so I know that you're running on like zero sleep.
Not yet, not yet. This is the calm before the storm. Yeah.
Okay, so you have some very special guests here as well. So you're teaching them about crop over, but you also brought them to race day here today. And why did you want to incorporate crop over and our sports here in Barbados?
We wanted them to enjoy the culture and the history behind crop over, but we also wanted to include our destination activity, and sports is a big part of that. And given that we have the Visit Barbados Derby here, we wanted them to come and get mixed with the locals, see how we get down on a holiday, and yeah, just know that Barbados is a 365-day destination.
Okay, so all of those SportsMax fans who are watching right now, sports fans, whether you're a fan of Barbados or any sport, why do they need to come to Barbados?
Why not? There's food, there's rum, there's sports, there's culture, there's beaches, there's everything. Why not Barbados?
I like that. Why not Barbados? So we hope to see you at the Visit Barbados Derby next year. But for now, we're going to bring you more action. So Keisha, any last words? What else are you guys going to take in after today, after the Derby race day?
So after today, we're actually doing a crop over workshop. So because these journalists don't usually get to spend more than 7 days with us, and this is the last lap of crop over, we are going to be putting on a cultural workshop so they learn about the history of culture. So they're going to see the shaggy bears, they're going to see some steel pan, they're going to see some wire bending, and also speak to some of the local vendors. So yeah, I mean, why aren't you here?
That's the real question. Why aren't you here? But since you're not here, we're going to bring the action to you for now until you're here again next time. Okay, so Keisha, I know you got a very busy last lap ahead, so congratulations to you on a wonderful showing so far in your team, and we'll see you during crop over, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Keisha.
All right, CC there speaking with Keisha Springer from Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. We can also tell you as we wait for the early betting to come on the board for the sixth race. It's the last lap. It's the race before the big one. I did tell you that St. Vincent and the Grenadines trained horses have won the Barbados Derby 6 times. There have been 2 from Jamaica, Secret Habitat and Talahorny. Surprisingly,
I remember both of those horses.
I know you'd remember both of those.
Yes.
Especially Talahorny wasn't so long ago. Talahorny was 1995, so you remember that. Trinidad and Tobago, I thought the TNT horses would have struck more often in this race, but TNT have only won it twice. 1941, the second year of the Barbados Derby, was won by a Trinidad and Tobago trained horse. That was High Hat in 1941, and then Miss Jude's again in 1976. So 2 times TNT have struck in the event. St. Vincent and the Grenadines trained horses have struck 6 times. Jamaica twice. Martinique with Generator in 1984. And then listen to this name, Kimafutiesa. That was in 1988. So those 2 from Martinique. St. Kitts and Nevis. Wow. Salt has a disbelieving look on his face.
Yes.
St. Kitts and Nevis. There was a St. Kitts and Nevis trained horse that won the Derby. That was in 1957. Hayseed won in 1957 for St. Kitts and Nevis.
What I tell you is amazing. You're just calling the horses that won. This suggests to me that there are horses from these territories that also competed regularly in the Derby in early days.
Absolutely, sir. And in terms of jockeys who are still active, Tom Trotman, of course, won it in 3 times, 95, 2007, 2011. Antonio Bishop won 2013, 2016, 2017, and 2022. Ricky Walcott won in 2009, 2014, and 2015. And Delano Lopez struck in 2020 with the victory there, the young man getting his name up on the board. So that's the history in terms of the jockeys. We're going to tell you about the trainers in short order. Meanwhile, it's back to race 6, and we're looking at number 13 in the parade. That number 13 horse is
Shake Them Up Noble.
Shake Them Up Noble. He's in very good form right now. Last 3 races, 3rd the last time out by 2.5 lengths. Prior to that was a winner over by 2.5 lengths as well. And before that was 2nd by a length. C. Arthur, the regular pilot, is back in the irons for trainer E. Bell. Shake Them Up Noble, a 7-year-old, a bay mare. And let's look if the betting is on the board. Not quite yet, so we'll be able to tell you shortly what Shake Them Up Noble's betting odds are in this event. Looking at number 5 as well in the shot. That's Priceless, a 4-year-old brown gelding. M. Badal rides for a trainer Dean. And Priceless, 13 runs for this number 5 horse. Only 1 victory so far in his career. So he has a lot of work to do to repay the faith of his owners. And to repay the expenditure that has gone into keeping and caring for him, needs to do a little bit more. Number 6, well, let me start here, my friend.
You go in order then?
No, not even in order.
Okay.
We are going to go in order, but I just want to say this in general. You know, I may have told you this on Gold Cup Day, that there is a formula when assessing the chances of horses at low claiming. And I said it was a simple formula, and I found that it works across racing jurisdiction. Doesn't matter where in the world you apply it, it works. And the formula is this. When you are working with horses who are the lowest rated horses in a particular country and they are bunched together for a race, it is always best to look at the records of these horses to see who has won the most races.
Yeah.
So the winningest or winning most horse in the race, you set that horse aside. Then you look for the second and third, and it is very likely that the winner is going to come from that group. I've tried the system since the early 1990s as a high school boy in Jamaica, and it has worked. It works in Britain when I'm watching the British races. It has worked so far in Barbados. It works in TNT. It works everywhere. We call that horse the system horse. So when you're gambling, when you're betting, when you're wagering on horses that are not high class for whatever reason, whether injury has diminished them or they just weren't great shakes early, when they are bunched together, as this lot is for this race 6 here, you look at the horse's record and pick the horses who have won most races. So, along, my friend, let's apply that system to this race 6.
The last lap.
The last lap. All right. Number 3, 17 Millionaires, has 7 wins, so set him aside. Number 2, Oberoi, has 6 wins, so set him aside as well. Jack Manani Gap, number 6, you can set him aside because he's won 7 times. Then number 8, Scarface, should get the treatment because he's won 6 times. Then, after those, you look at number 12, Super Heights, who has won 14 times. So you set him aside as well, even though he's 11 years old. And those are the horses you focus on. And as night follows day salt.
Let's look at them again.
Right.
Mention them again.
Let's go. So we're looking at Oberoi, 17 Millionaires.
Yeah.
Jack Manani Gap. Then we're looking at Scarface. Then we're looking at Super Heights.
Yes.
Those are the horses, the winning most horses. Of course, by far and away the horse who has won more races than anybody is number 12, Super Heights. So let's look at Super Heights' form. Let's look at Super Heights' form, my friend, and see if there's anything to suggest that there's a winning run here. Last time out on a good to firm track, that was December 27 last year, which of course says something, because if this horse has been away from the track since December 27 last year, it does suggest that this one hasn't been sound enough to run in the intervening period between then and now. Last time we saw him, he finished 7th, beaten 3.5 lengths, so a very close 7th finish. The question is if this horse is fit. If this horse is fit, my friend, this race is over.
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old.
Yeah.
At 11 years old. Right, so that's the first thing you do. Then you look at Jack Manani Gap, you look at Scarface, number 8, who's won 6 times from 52 lifetime starts. A winner on the last time we saw Scarface on July 15, over 1,800 meters, winning by half a length in that event. So number 6, Jack Manani Gap, 7 wins under his belt, but he hasn't won in a long time. Didn't win in 2022. He ran 11 times in 2022, didn't win. Has run 11 times already this year, hasn't won yet. So Jack Manani Gap may not be so hot right now.
Not on form, no.
Even though he works into the system. And then number 2, Oberoi. Oberoi's form has not been bad. In his last 6 runs, I'm going to read them from the furthest result first. So 4th by 2.5 lengths. Then 5th by 5 1/4, then 3rd by 5 1/2, then 3rd by 2 3/4, then 2nd by a nose, then 3rd by 4 1/4 lengths in his most recent effort. Oberoi has form to recommend. Is Oberoi fit enough to do himself justice with 122 pounds? That's the question.
Well, I believe that he will be, though. I don't think the trainer would bring him out here today, not fit. I'm looking at him on the turf there. That's number 3 you see on your screen. 17 million US is going to be ridden by Mohammed. And what do you think of this one? 7 wins lifetime.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the recent form. It's not so impressive, though. Did finish 3rd on the last occasion, beaten only 4 lengths at 1,800 meters. So there may be something there, my friend. CC has another interview for us, and we go downstairs to her.
In this event,
So we just had Keisha who said, why aren't you here? I don't have to ask Sandy and his family why they aren't here, because you are here. So first of all, welcome to Barbados, and you're from Scotland, right?
Yeah, Scotland, yeah.
Okay, so what brought you to Barbados?
Well, my father-in-law, he was here in the 1980s, and he worked as a teacher, and so he's bringing the family back for the first time.
Oh, your very first time in Barbados. So far, what have you done and what have you thought about Barbados so far?
We've enjoyed the beach. Mainly, we've enjoyed the bank spear. It's good as well. Not for the kids though.
No.
And you know the weather's a bit different to Scotland. It's a wee bit hotter. There's a little bit of rain, which is good. But no, it's amazing.
All right. So did you guys have fun at the beach?
Yes.
What's your favorite part so far?
Pool.
The pool?
Yeah.
The pool?
Yeah.
You got your floaties. You got your water wings. Having a good time. Okay, so I hope that means you'll be back. So what are you thinking about the race day so far? You are right there by the rail side. You're watching the action. How is the racing going?
It's pretty amazing to see the horses up close. I haven't been to a lot of races, a couple in Scotland, but you know, not been to racing for a while, so great to see. 3 second places though, no winners.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Well, we still have a few more races to go, and of course the big race is coming up. So wishing you lots of luck. Thank you guys for joining us here in beautiful Barbados, and enjoy the rest of your vacation, okay, you guys? All right, so we'll catch up with you next time, and hopefully the next race is going to be your race, okay? Fingers crossed. All right, we're going to go back up to George and Salt to hear more about race day action.
Thank you very much, CC. So I think it's a good time to do a feature on that man, that gentleman, our track announcer extraordinaire. Good chap, Lyndon Yard. Let's learn a little bit more about him.
Having entered the school in 1983, cricket was my second love. Horse racing was my first love. But the unavailability of funds to get into horse racing obviously turned me the other way, to go the easier way, which was to do cricket. So I would have done cricket throughout school, and then when after a period of time when injury set in, I decided I had to make a career choice of what I'm going to do. So I opted then to continue in cricket by giving back and doing commentary. So I started commentary in 2003. As a matter of fact, I started in a first-class game between, unfortunately, they clashed on Saturdays. So I always found horse racing to be more challenging, and it is more challenging. I've been doing it since 2003, so mark this 21 years. Yeah, I like it because the challenge that it presents. It presents a serious challenge. I'd like to highlight the points that are not highlighted. So for example, and it happens here on a regular basis, you can get an owner with 3 horses in the race. Basically, you can wear the same sleeve, same jacket. Caps are supposed to be different. So you can get one in a red, a blue, and a white. Unfortunately here sometimes, time after time, and it happens here fairly often, that we get the 3 horses, one in the black cap, one in the dark blue cap, and the other in the blue cap. Fine is always to say the commentators have to get it right, and it's our job to get it right. But when the horses are going down the back stretch and they're going away from us, a big head, which is a cap, becomes a dot, because they're that far away from us now. When you go down the back stretch where the trees are, it is dark. If the race happens to be running, let's say, 5:45 in the evening, the sun is set, it's only cloudy, it's dark trees, that dark blue cap automatically becomes black. So these are the things that you have to go through. The average person listening will tell you, well, one's a chestnut, one's a bay. That's fine when they're in the stretch facing you. When they're down the back stretch and they're side by side, and mind you, we are at a disadvantage where we commentate from. We are maybe what? I would say 15 yards behind the line, very disadvantageous. The height is good, exceptional, but when you get 3 horses in a line coming at you, you have to go on momentum, because it's very difficult to determine who's in front. So if you're leading by 2 lengths coming into the stretch, and the horses 2 and 3 catches up with you, it is very unlikely that you're going to run on unless the jock had something left in the tank. And by calling the race and watching the race unfold, you got to know, does he have something or doesn't he have something? Because once you've made up that ground, there ain't much left. So you're throwing yourself on the line to give the punter or the support or the batter who's not there an idea of how it's going down. There's nothing wrong with calling it and getting it wrong, because you stuck your neck on the line. Most people tend to say inseparable. Dean, my good friend Dean Springer, said inseparable. Leave it to the naked eye, go to the camera, which is fine. But you as a commentator, people want to believe in you. People want to believe that he's on top of what he's doing. So for me, there's nothing wrong with calling it, sticking your neck out and getting it wrong. 9 out of 10 times, here at the Garrison, it tends to favor the outside horse. But it's a judgment call that you have to make.
Where the real running begins, Ladybird runs into 6 past.
All right, so the man, Lyndon Yard, the track announcer extraordinaire here at the Garrison Savannah. Top man and a really nice guy and a thorough professional, it must be said. The horses are taking the main track for this, the 6th event. Do we do the betting odds and then come back from the quick, or do we take a quick break and come right back? All right, I think we should take the quick break and come right back and look at the betting odds for this, the 6th race, the 1 before the 1. No, he is upstairs. He is with CC right now. They're standing shoulder to shoulder. Right, right. All right, cool. This is 70 billion or so million US. Back with us at the Garrison, just in time for us to join the commentator for race 6, the last lap, 1,570 meters. The favorite, number 13 at 5-2. Shake them up, Noble.
And this indecisive this evening. We have Standing Quietly, Fly Me to the Moon, Overall. 17 million US. As Jack Manani Gap comes up and goes in. They're on the starters' orders. And away they go. And Gazy was a little slow to go. But as they come out of the chute and onto the main course for the first time, and it is on the outside, Ava's Girl, who's going to pull her way to the front. So it's Ava's Girl in front from Life is Great. Jack Manani Gap is in contention early. On the outside is Shake Them Up Noble. Then comes Priceless. Fly Me to the Moon is the next one through, followed by Oberwar. Edelweiss is also in contention. Then comes Cat Pro Cat. Scraping the plastic on the inside is 17 million US. 17 million US travels very, very well. And catching up the field now is Gazy. That's the way the race as they begin their journey down the backstretch. They did the opening quarter in 26-1. And out front, it is Jack Manani Gap. He's in front now by about 2 lengths. In second position is Life is Great. Priceless travels very well into third position. Then traveling very, very well on the outside is Shake Them Up Noble. Edelweiss is also getting into contention. Then comes Oberoi, traveling also very well on the outside, moving very well. It is not picking up the one on the outside. Then comes 17 million US. That's the way they race. They've done the half in 50-2 as they race towards the quarter pole. And it is Life is Great who picks it up on the outside. Here comes Priceless. So it is Life is Great and Priceless as they come with just about a furlong and a half to go. And it is Priceless in front. From on the inside is Life is Great. On the outside here comes Edelweiss. Inside the final furlong, and it is Priceless in front. Oh, some bouncing and down goes the jock on Life is Great. And it is Priceless in front. Here comes Oberoi on the outside. It is Priceless in front. Here comes 17 million US. But it's Priceless who's going to win it. Priceless wins it now from 17 million US. Oberoi was third. Then came Edelweiss, Cat Pro Cat, and we have a fallen rider. As they passed the line, they did it in 1:43-3. In a moment, the unofficial placings for you.
Stewards inquiry. The sign will go up anytime now because once you have a faller, it's an automatic stewards inquiry. The stewards will look at what happened in the stretch run to cause that jockey to fall. From my vantage, I saw him land on his feet, which is how you are taught to fall as a jockey. And once you do that, then the initial shock of the fall will have been cushioned by the legs. And so any chance of injury will be diminished by that kind of fall. A fall on the feet is the best way to do it. And let's just see if the jockey is able to walk from the track on his own steam and if he's able to complete his assignments, if he has any more for the rest of the card. And as I speak, the track announcer Lyndon Yard telling the public that the stewards inquiry is underway already. The stewards looking into the incident in the stretch run, in deep stretch, when that jockey fell. So our system didn't hold up, Salt. Priceless, one of the young horses, won number 5, beating number 3, 17 million US. So our system wasn't disgraced. Number 2, Oberoi, was third. So our system did not get disgraced. And then number 9, Edelweiss, finishing fourth. So 5, 3, 2, and 9, very unofficial because one of those horses could be disqualified for the interference which caused the faller in deep stretch.
Yeah, we saw the jockey on horse number 11, Life is Great. One of the favorites in the race, touching the turf in the home stretch. Always interesting when we have these apprentice races, George. We didn't get to mention that before the race, but these are all inexperienced jockeys going around the turf this evening in this prelude, and we're going to watch them as they enter into the home stretch here now. Right about now, they are rounded by the guns, the cannons, about a furlong and a half out as we enter into the home stretch now.
And he's on the inside, in the blue blinkers. Life is Great on the inside, the jockey with the black sleeves and the black and white stripes, the blue blinkers on the inside. That's Life is Great. Let's keep our eyes on it, Saul, to see what caused the fall. So he's too close to the rail and the horse stumbled.
The horse stumbles, yes.
Yeah. And he lands, look at that. His jockey's coach would have been very pleased. Yeah. That is a textbook fall, except for the bit at the end where he went over.
And he's directly in the path of the horse behind him. It was a very scary sight to see, but the horse managed to dodge him, it seems. And again, I'm getting some reports here that he's walking off under his own steam, so that's good to know.
Excellent. And you see him adopt the fetal position upon the fall. That's what you're also taught to do. And if we could see that once again, we'd really appreciate it. But excellent work from our guys. The final time, 1 minute 43 3/5. The splits, the first 2 furlongs, 26-1. First 4 furlongs, the half mile in 50-2. As we see once again, so look, So he's on the inside, comes too close to the rail, gets squeezed, the horse stumbles badly, and he goes
the horse
over
went to its knees.
Yeah, goes over to the side, and look at him. You're taught to hit the ground with your feet. So he hits the ground with both feet, well, both feet right, and then goes on the knees, and then it's that part now when he comes over on the neck.
Yeah.
And let's see if he's clipped by the horse trailing. No sign that he was clipped. And if he escapes injury, he's a lucky man, but also a skillful man. As I was saying, his jockey's trainers would have been very happy with how he managed to execute that fall, because when you fall as a jockey, you're expected to execute what you've been taught, how to fall. And if there was a tutorial on how to fall from a horse, that was how it should be done.
And the horse was came into conflict with the eventual winner, the horse that passed the post-force price test. So we will definitely have to see if the results are affected by that fall. Interesting to know as well that because it's an apprentice race, all of these jockeys, or the majority of them, are in the same school. They all graduated around the same time. They will have a bit more camaraderie with each other, and you can see glances ever so slightly as he went to the turf, as other jockeys are expressing their concern as the race progresses in the main part of the race, the home stretch.
Absolutely so. So another part of the, well, oh, okay, well, CC has an interview for us downstairs. Let's go across to her.
And here we are. So Barbados horse racing brings out everyone. So we have a Trinidadian who owns horses in Barbados, in Jamaica, in Trinidad, Stefan Narayan Singh, and you're also the owner of one of the champions so far, People's Champ.
Yes, hi, yes. Good evening, yes.
So how are you feeling after your early win today?
I'm very happy, but focus on the Derby. People's Champ has done so well for me. He has won the Triple Crown, he won the Tanglewood earlier in the year. So just seeing him run, I would have been happy with any performance. He has done all he can do for me, an owner, and for our stable. So I'm proud of him always.
So we have one race done and we have another race coming up because Hot Step is actually in the Derby today. So how are you feeling about Hot Step? Are you a little nervous?
Before I would be nervous, but I've been experienced this feeling of the derbies and winning and losing. So just being a part of a derby is an accomplishment, and I want to all my other owners with Hot Stepper, Mr. Punai from Barbados, from Guyana, sorry, Mr. Drake, Mr. King, and also Mr. Luke. Right?
Okay, so we have one win so far. Wishing you best of luck in the Derby. Hot Stepper is the hot ticket for that, so make sure you stay tuned. Best of luck, and of course we'll catch up with you, and we'll catch all the race action right here on SportsMax. So thank you so much, and best of luck, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, CC. So Stefan Narayan Singh there, a man who co-owns and co-owns some of the top horses in the English-speaking Caribbean. Struck up a very good partnership, as he mentioned, with the late, great Elias Halut and Anthony Baba Nunes, Andrew's brother, who is a former champion trainer in Jamaica, two-time champion trainer, did so very well with Stefan Narayan Singh. Stefan Narayan Singh had the blue, white, and yellow silks with the Superman on the chest and on the back. Yeah, he had that. And yeah, he's a very good racing man, and we wish him even more success than he has enjoyed so far. When we return for this break, it's a full run. It's a dead run. You know what a dead run is? A dead run is a sprint at maximum speed that you are looking to sustain all the way to an intended target. It's a dead run right to the coverage at the start of the Barbados, the Visit Barbados Derby, sponsored by BTMI, Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. Salt will give you the insight. I'll give you some information, and we'll enjoy the coverage together. Woody, there's a performance on the track. Can you come back with those pictures and then transition into the feature? Hello, miss. Welcome back to the beautiful Garrison Savannah in historic Bridgetown in historic Barbados in the wonderful Caribbean for great horse racing. It is the Visit Barbados Race Day 2023. The Visit Barbados Derby is upon us now, and our preview will begin in short order. What we can tell you is that there is a performance that is out on the track. We have eyes down there. We're going to give you a bit of that performance in short order. But speaking of history, there's a museum in Barbados. There's a place you could go, rather, where you can find all the things historic about Bridgetown and what makes this part of the world so unique. Anything you need to do. You don't need to ask an old man or an old woman. You go to a particular place and you explore the hidden treasures there, and you can get a handle on what this great country is all about. And the CC was there earlier this week with our cameras, and she ensured that even if you don't come to Barbados, you can know the history. She has prepared this feature for you.
Hey everybody, my name is Caroline C.C. Reed, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Barbados Museum and Historic Society. So inside the museum, we have a lot of displays going on, but I'm not going to tell you about it. We're going to meet the expert herself, Elizabeth, who's going to take us on a little bit of a mini tour. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So follow me, let's go inside. And here we are at the Barbados Museum and Historical Society, and Elizabeth is the senior tour guide of the museum. And just speaking to you before, you are so passionate about what you do. So how did you get into this whole history of Barbados? And
so my beginnings in becoming a tour guide was actually with our junior creator program, which we actually do every summer. We currently are in the midst of the program right now, where students get to come in, they get to experience a lot of the behind the scenes activities that we do at the museum, and also get some training with it. And one of the duties that we do get training with is tour guiding as well. Usually it also benefits us quite a bit, because the summer is when we also get a lot of our overflow of bookings. So I get a lot of hands-on assistance when they go through the program as well.
what do people who come to Barbados and they say, you know what, I may not be that much of a history buff, but I still want to learn about Barbados, what can people expect when they come to the Barbados Museum?
We more or less offer a full range. We go from something like natural history, we look at social history and how the island has developed, the legacies that we have built on. A lot of it is built around our artifacts that we have too. Something most people might not know is that we do have a collection that at current is exceeding the 500,000 mark.
Wow.
So we do special exhibitions as well, so that persons can get a chance to see what's in our collection. A lot of the collections that we have to also relate to things that we are still going through right now. So for example, the one we're sitting on right now, this is Luca, and this actually launched just the last Thursday. but it's looking at the gaze that more or less has been constructed during the colonial period of how people look at persons within the Caribbean. There's been a lot of othering, a lot of exoticizing of persons. So more or less taking what has been prevalent all this time and sort of flipping the script a bit to show what we actually are, show our Barbadian identity outside of these characterizations and stereotypes that we have been more or less stuck with. But we also have our newly refurbished children's gallery. It does still have its historical component, but our method is more or less to try and keep in tie with the current curriculum as well. So currently our curriculum has shifted to focus on STEM and STEAM to encourage more Barbadian students to be interested in those streams of study as well. So we have everything in there from aerodynamics and in the history of the first flight machines, more or less, to cover both planes and helicopters.
Okay.
And we have renewable energies. We have a section dedicated to biology, both in terms of plants, but also in terms of the body itself. So more or less is a place of learning, but also experimentation. So there are areas where, yes, so generally speaking, it's not just a place for children. We also get adults who really love the room. It's a nice...
My jam. Hands-on learning. I want to do things.
It also allows the family to somewhat connect too. It's very nice to see a family work out a particular area together inside there as well. So I would say that that's also one of my favorites. The Getty Museum actually put out a challenge asking persons to recreate some of their favorite historical paintings using items within their own home. Now, Peter Brathwaite, he was very dedicated, and his submissions were so well done that the Getty is actually creating an entire exhibition surrounding his submissions as well. So sort of in the process leading up to that, we have taken a few of the pieces that he's recreated. He's actually recreated some of the pieces inside of the museum itself from our Cunard gallery, and we have more or less displayed them adjacent to the paintings that we already have in the Cunard gallery. So when you go in the Cunard gallery, you're going to find the original paintings that we have, and in some of the instances, you're also going to find Peter Brathwaite's recreation of those paintings as well.
Using household items during a pandemic. And I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. What is your favorite? You got to pick one. What is your favorite exhibit?
Again, looking a bit at the social hierarchy that we would have had in the system of slavery itself, how that was expressed. So one of the paintings in particular is of a gentleman who he's very well dressed, red suit, white trimming with fur and everything. And there was this gold item around his neck that I initially assumed was a cravat until I was corrected by our director. It actually is a gold collar. So basically, as she explained it, the same way that persons might decide to have a decorated collar for a favored dog or cat. Same thing was done in slavery. They're enslaved persons who, despite the fact that they're in chain, they more or less have been given gilded collars. And that's always a piece that makes me slow down and think and go, huh. And it's something to reflect on, just because it's not something that that's not something that I would have ever really considered before seeing that painting.
Yeah, the museum feature there done by the lady CC. She joins us on set. CC, did you have cause before doing that documentary piece to visit the museum before?
I have actually, but not in that capacity. The film festival has some events there. There's a wonderful garden theater that they host films. You can go watch films and events. But when I spoke to Elizabeth, it was quite entertaining. It was quite interesting because, you know, she mentions in the piece where a lot of us, I don't know about you, so a lot of us may not have visited the museum outside of school when we were like little kids. But there's so much more going on. So even if you visited it last year, you have to go back and visit again this year. So it's on my to-do list for the summer with my son.
I even learned the stuff, the part about the color.
Yes.
That was very intriguing to me.
It was very interesting. And there was another painting, I don't think we discussed it in the piece, but when walking through with her, there was a painting that was restored, and a family had it, and they took it to an art restoration specialist, and they removed a layer of paint. They're like, this was not there before. And as they removed the layer of paint, they also revealed on a lady her own gold, basically, harness. In the same vein as the
color that it would use to decorate the
so obviously, somewhere in history, someone painted over it.
Yes.
But in restoring the artwork, they removed it, and they saw that, and the family said, you know what, this is a part of history, we need to show it.
Can't be erased, can't be covered up.
Correct, exactly.
Fantastic. You know, you spoke earlier of many Bajans going to the museum as children.
Correct.
Salt didn't go on the day his school went. He was at the track. He was at the races. He was at the garrison watching the races.
I was spending a lot of time looking over here to see what I can see, yes.
There you go. Thank you very much, CC. And we'll be hearing from you again very soon. On the track, there is, look, Barbados and Barbadians need no excuses to show off their culture, their heritage, their very multifaceted history and heritage. And the music, the revelry is going on the track now as we speak. We were showing you a bit of it earlier, and there was a 6-piece drum set, a drum corps, you can call them that did a piece just now in front of the main stand, led by a spoken word poet that was very well received. Then there were some figures, some men and women on stilts doing a routine that was also very well received. That's not the only thing happening here at the Garrison Savannah, because on the infield, where there are a lot of spectators gathered, there are some children there who are benefiting from a kiddies riding stable. So there are a few horses there that are taking the children around, and so there's a little bit of something for everyone, and there's a lot of something for many people. There are the men on stilts on the infield, and then you saw the revelers just walking by our broadcast point here, celebrating all that is good about Barbados. It's a holiday after all here. It's Emancipation Day.
It's Emancipation Day, the second of 2 back-to-back holidays here in Barbados. Yesterday we observed CARICOM's 50th anniversary. And today we celebrate Emancipation Day, which is good for the BTMI as well, incorporating the rhythm poetry and the spoken word artists, as well as you can see the stilt men are dressed in African garb as they proceed down the track.
So are you telling me that Bajans, for the most part, haven't been to work since Friday?
We have not been to work since Friday. We don't plan to go to work
tomorrow
this week either, because it is crop over week here, so we are celebrating what we call the last lap. Yes.
I hear you, my producer, Adriel Woody Richard, but I'm not going to take you on. We're going to take a break and come right back. It's revelry here at the Garrison Savannah, and in not too long from now, the revelry will give way for the serious business of deciding who will win the Barbados Derby, the Visit Barbados Derby 2023, put on by the BTMI under the patronage of the president named Sandra Mason. Who will win that important race? The answers when we return. on this? Would it? All right. You're coming from the break straight to it? Are you coming from? Are you coming from the break straight to the feature? Are you coming from the break straight to the feature? You want me to introduce it?
No, they're just saying loud environment.
They say Barbados is the gem of the Caribbean. I've tested the hypothesis repeatedly, and I can report that they are right. Just a flavor of the revelry that has been taking place here at the Garrison Savannah. Stick walkers in the background, dancers in the foreground. Welcome you all to Barbados. Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. putting on a party, and they Visit Barbados Race Day 2023, their brainchild, SportsMax, their executing television partner, and we have had a whale of a time so far. Speaking of whales, I know they don't prepare whales there, but they prepare a lot of seafood. And Cece, you realize that, Salt, you and I have the difficult task of talking about the racing.
Yes.
She gets to go to the museum, and then she gets to go to Oistins.
Yes.
Now, well, I'll tell you this after we play this feature of Cece traveling to Oistins, capturing a lot of the elements that make the place essential visiting for visitors from near and far.
And here we are on the south coast of Barbados, Oistins Bay Garden. Well, Oistins is known for its fresh fish, cold drinks, and vibes. You can bring friends, family, make friends. And in fact, we're going to catch up with one vendor who's going to give us a little bit more of a rundown on what Oistins has to offer. We're here at Debbie's Fry and Grill. So let's go and say hi.
Blingicious, I'm a blingets, I'm a blingician, and all my baby, get ready to move. Boom, blast. Bring that,
And your body good, because you know that you're good. Here we are in Oistins, the south coast of Barbados, and we ran into Debbie of Debbie's Fry and Grill. But you said I could call you Mom, so I'm going to call you Mom. So, Mom, how long have you been operating Debbie's Fry and Grill in Oistins?
I've been operating Debbie's Fry and Grill for the last 27 years with some of the best food in Oistins, where you can come and get some grilled marlin, dolphin, flying fish, cuckoo, French fries, rice and peas, macaroni pie. You can get a variety of foods from Oistins with the beautiful and friendly people. You can enjoy every day from Sunday to Sunday. You can come. But the biggest of our days is on Friday nights, where you can come and get everything you can get in Oistins and meet loads and loads of friends.
All right, so tell me about what you recommend your favorite dishes.
My favorite dish is blue marlin. You can have it with French fries, grilled potatoes, fried plantain, ripe fruit, rice and peas.
Sounds like a delicious meal from you. So just let everyone know, locals, tourists, everyone alike, why you need to come to Oistins, whether it's a Friday night or any night. Why is Oistins a place to be?
Because we have the best food. Best food is in Oistins.
All right, so Friday nights, you mentioned Friday nights. What's so special about Friday nights?
Friday night, I don't know. It's so big. We can't even get the people feed sometimes on Friday nights, you know. There's loads and loads of tourists. Everybody was recommended to Oistins on Friday night. We should be doing every night, but Friday night is our biggest night.
Because we have music.
We have music. We have different activities, different set of music. You have people dancing. You have the drum, the band men coming around with the boxies and
the Mother Sallies.
Mother Sallies and everything. We have everything at Oistins on Friday nights.
And it's fantastic for the entire family.
Yes, please.
Right, so the
Bring
kids
over
can
your
come.
Yeah, the kids love it. Bring over everybody and just sit down, have a nice meal, hot, fresh.
So will we catch you dancing Friday night?
No.
No?
I'll be too busy on the grill.
Well, fair enough.
Too busy
That
on
makes
the grill.
sense to me. But you might catch me dancing. So what I'm understanding is basically every night, Oistins is the place to be. But especially Friday night, we've got fresh food, cold drinks. You come with your friends, you make new friends, you bring the family, and you have a fantastic time. So we hope to see you in Oistins sometime soon. And check out some marlin from Debbie,
Debbie's.
a.k.a. Mom. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Deb.
Good morning. Show them how we just jump up. Show them how we just free up.
Yeah, and in true interloper style, I'll ask the two Bajans of the presentation team to be totally unbiased when they answer this question. All right, so I'm going to pose this question to lady and gentlemen. Is there anywhere in the world like Oistins on a Friday night?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Biased.
Totally
why.
unbiased.
Talk to me.
I'm not going to say it's the best in the world, but there's no place in the world like it's very unique. It's very Barbadian. The food, the music, the average Barbadians, the beers, man, it's unmatched.
I agree on matching date. It's somewhere that I take my son when I have anyone in who's visiting Barbados. I said, you know, Friday night we got plans. We're going to Oistins. Whether you're going at 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock is always a vibe. You've got food. You've got entertainment. You have characters. You become a character. You go on the stage and dance. Salt might be there DJing one night, and you're just going to free up and have a good time. So.
Absolutely so. My producer says the line dancing as well. Listen, I saw something spectacular when I was there. I saw like a Pocomania group, a revivalist group going around in the heat of the activity.
Yeah.
And they had this crowd behind them marching through with them. I saw chickens at midnight. Chickens are supposed to roost at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Chickens were out walking. It was amazing. And this is part of the reason why Barbados is unique, why Barbados is the gem of the Caribbean. Let me hear it, class, the gem of the Caribbean.
And what I would advise anyone when they visit Barbados is to check Oistins any night of the week. Friday nights, that's the hype night, and that's when they have the most activity. I find myself, I get my best experiences at Oistins on a Tuesday or Wednesday night when it's not that many people. I get to interact with the vendors, then the person on the grill. I have a little bit more conversation with you, and I get some extra food.
Is Friday night your night of choice?
Any night. I live near Oistins, so the food. And what's interesting is we actually film the day of cricket. So you had, when you go there, you're either talking politics or sports, or both.
Yes.
And it's action. Action, action. So we were playing cricket when we did that feature. It was the second day of the international matches that we had here, West Indies versus India. So you could imagine the conversation, Saul. You could imagine the conversation at the tables. The drinks were going, the conversation was going, and luckily we actually won that match. So it was vibes. It was vibes.
Excellent. Excellent. Speaking of calypso and competition and winning, well, I'm gonna twin winning with whining, because a lady who's been doing a lot of whining on the stage is TC. She just did one of her hits, Who the Hell is Kim? I mean, that's known universally, and the crowd is rocking here. The vibe was high before, the energy was high, but since her arrival and the performances on the track, the stilt walkers and the drummers and everything else, the atmosphere has just reached, the energy has just ratcheted it up several notches, is the point I'm making. And she's entertaining the crowd here in the stands and in the immediate vicinity of her performance point. It's all happening here at the Garrison Savannah, and we And we've not even started speaking about the Derby yet. Can you imagine turf fights when we come back from this break and start focusing on the Derby? How great that will be. But we take this quick break, and when we come back, we pick up our coverage of the Visit Barbados 2023 race day. Visit Barbados Derby coming up next. It's one you don't want to miss.
Now put down your worries and enjoy paradise. Hey, you're ready for the non-stop whining. Get up the bed, so we lining. Make sure you can handle it, come on. After the pet in the morning, over, relax on the sand. We got the sweetest waters, invite a friend, don't stick them down. Find a corner, walk a bumper. We party until the last thing I drop. We heading straight to the jump because we ain't. Hey, I tell you this place exciting. Up in a bed, see we vibes in. Now put down your worries and enjoy. Hey, you ready for the non-stop whining? Set out the bed, see we liming. Make sure you can handle it, come on. When the chorus back it up, everyone in the place, they've got to walk it up. When the new big tune, them a couple up.
Big fan, huh? Big fan. I'm a big fan. Yeah, man. Respect, man. It's Kamal, right? Yes, please. Kamal. Kamal. Red plastic bag. RPB. Oh, but. Stetson Wiltshire. Welcome back to the Garrison Savannah. We are getting closer to the big race, the Visit Barbados 2023 Derby on the Visit Barbados 2023 race day. And the man on stage now is an extra special individual. I'm a huge fan of his. He goes by the name Red Plastic Bag. They shorten it as RPB, the man responsible for the greatest send-up or put-down, however you want to call it, of dancehall music in history, when he said, all that he hears when dancehall is being played is ragga, 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 ragga. And he is right. A special gentleman has joined me on the set. Kamal from BTMI, Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. He's the man whose job it is to marry sport with tourism for the BTMI. And of course, you couldn't have a day like today without him being here. Kamal, good to see you. Are you enjoying yourself so far?
Absolutely. It's been an incredible event so far. I'm so happy to see the crowd that we have here. And I know next year is going to be much, much bigger.
Absolutely. It's funny that I asked you if you're enjoying yourself at your own party, because you have put this on, this whole shindig, and you said that you're impressed by the crowd. In terms of what you hope to achieve from today, give me an idea about that.
Well, there's so many things. We wanted to take this opportunity to push our cultural aspect of Barbados. So that's why you will see the parade and RPB and TC performing, because we wanted to let everyone know we can marry sports and entertainment. And it's a flashpoint in the season where people can come to Barbados for the last week of crop over. So we wanted to put this on for those horse racing fans who wanted to come, but those who also saw the opportunity to get the last bit of crop over in as well. So there's so many factors involved. The horse racing community is massive, especially in North America, around parts of Europe. So we're looking to tap into that market as well.
You know, so BTMI have, we partnered with you, SportsMax have, for the Gold Cup, for the Midsummer Creole Classic, and now for the Derby. And it seems as if, and of course we did the Run Barbados last year. So it's almost as if suddenly BTMI sees another route to reaching visitors, another route to convincing people that Barbados is the place to come. Why did it take BTMI so long to leverage sport into the tourism aspect of things?
No, man, these things take time. Sometimes we're a very research and data-driven organization, and we recognize the incredible impact SportsMax has on the region in North America and so on. So this marries really well. Caribbean tourism, North American tourism, it hits really well to make sure that we go on your platforms to promote this kind of event. So we're going to do a lot more with you as well, because we have 6 events on the cards with you. We have our sailing, we have the Run Barbados Cup in December, we have a whole set of things that's going to be on SportsMax. So your viewers have to stay tuned.
Absolutely so. And when you look around at the various destinations in the Caribbean, Kamal, and you look at, okay, how does Barbados stand out? How do I do enough around Barbados so that when a holiday maker potentially is looking at buying a vacation, they choose Barbados as that place where they want to spend their money? How well do you think BTMI is doing in making Barbados the place of choice for those vacationing in the Caribbean?
Yeah, I think we're doing an excellent job because it's diversification. People need to know they can come and enjoy the marine life. They can enjoy horse racing, cricket. They have the variety of things to come for. And I think that's what makes us more competitive. When you look around the region, you may see a bit more of a leaning towards one side than the other, but we try to make it as wide as possible. We want to be a 365-day-a-year destination. People need to come here every single day of the year, so we have to diversify the sporting offering, and that's what we focus on.
You know, several destinations struggle to offer that 360-degree package. They market themselves as offering this, that, and that. But when people go there, it's only the this. There's no that, and the other. And you are saying that by virtue of this partnership that you've struck with SportsMax and the integration of sport into the marketing mix to serve your various publics, you believe you have something that can offer all that you promise to the potential visitor. When they come, they can enjoy all of that.
We want that there is no traveler that can't see an opportunity in Barbados. So we do recognize that there are going to be some areas that are a little bit niche.
Yes.
But listen, if we can add the entertainment onto it, so maybe you don't come for the sport, but you come for this. You get some of our iconic performers performing in the background, and you get to see the atmosphere. So it was really important for us to promote domestically, to try to get the large crowds, to create the atmosphere. So when we share this content around the world, that everyone looks and says, oh my gosh, look at that atmosphere, I want to be there. So we want you to have 5, 6 different reasons to come here for these kinds of events.
And I know that surveying is a science, and I'm really attracted to the sweet science of surveying. So I always ask these questions. Do you test to gauge whether or not the integration of sport is working? Do you ask your visitors to say, well, you came for sun, sea, and sand. Did you enjoy the racing? Did you enjoy the museum tours? Did you enjoy going out on the east of the rugged coast of Barbados? Do you do this testing to gauge the feedback from your visitors to drive what you're going to do in the future?
Absolutely. So through relationships with the event promoters that we have, the sports promoters, They engage those that come in for those particular events. We have a relationship with the hoteliers, so we have an idea of where the hotels, the visitors are going, what they're engaging in, what they're asking the hotel to provide transportation for. So we're really interactive, trying to figure out what exactly they're doing and how they're enjoying it. Because it's all good to bring new visitors, but the ones that are already here on island, we have to engage them as well so they keep returning. So we look at it from various angles to make sure we have a strong set of data to be able to make decisions going forward.
And the last question is, have the Barbadian public bought into what the BTMI and others are doing in terms of opening up different portals to enjoyment for potential visitors? In other words, are they recognizing the value of integrating with visitors at sporting events, at cultural events, where normally those will be marketed as things appealing to tourists? Have the local population bought into the vision that BTMI has?
I believe so, because the Prime Minister says the first tourist is a Beijing. So if we engage the Barbadian public in everything that we do, as I said, to create an atmosphere, they're enjoying their atmosphere, they're enjoying their local culture, the sports available to them, at the same time, we're able to market those things internationally. So by providing these kinds of activities, and we can see here the locals have enjoyed it. So by them enjoying it, next year we show the world what we've been able to do. We're going to have the other half of the stadium filled with visitors. So we think that by engaging those visitors first and foremost and taking out content to the world is key to making sure that the atmosphere is there to make it attractive to come.
Excellent stuff, man. All the best to you. Continue on the
Thank you
path.
very much.
Continue on the path. Excellent. All right, we take a quick break here at the Garrison Savannah. When we come back, we're going to talk horse racing. We're going to talk form and numbers and likely race patterns as we try to decipher who will win the Visit Barbados Derby for 2023.
I want a big wave for Barbados in this dance. Come on, come on. Come, let me see you wave. Watch the wave. Come on. Wave. Watch the wave. For Barbados, come on. Wave. Watch the wave. Wave. Watch the wave. Hold on to something. Hold on to anything. Hold on to something. Hold on to anything. Cause we rockin' left. We rockin' right. We rockin'. We rockin'. The boat is rockin', stroke about is rockin'. We rockin' forward, rockin' back. You won't be mad, stay intact. The boat is rockin'.
Kerry Gibbons. Welcome back to the Garrison Savannah as we draw closer to the Visit Barbados Derby. It's a Grade 1 contest, the third and final leg in the Triple Crown. And in short order, we'll be looking at the runners and riders. Also to tell you about 2 points of bereavement for the horse racing family here in Barbados, losing 2 stalwarts of the game. We're going to tell you about that in short order. But the first thing we want to do in this segment is to hear an interview with the owner of Caribbean Kitten, Mr. Steve Samaru. Caribbean Kitten drawn in this race, number 15 in this Derby event. Caribbean Kitten owned by Steve Samaru, and we caught up with him.
Okay, so everyone is down here because the big race is coming up, and you run into everyone, including owners. So Steve Samaru is here with me, and you are an owner of one of the horses running in the Derby today.
Yes, I am.
So how are you feeling going into the big race?
I feel good.
Well, let's say, tell the people which horse is your horse.
My horse is Caribbean Kitten.
And so far, what was your success with Caribbean Kitten?
My horse has been very successful, except he never won a race yet.
It depends on how you define success, right?
Yes.
Okay, but you're here having a good time so far. And what are the vibes for you in Barbados at the Garrison Savannah for race day?
I love the racing here.
Compared to where else have you raced?
I'm sorry?
Where else have you gone to see races?
In Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing compares to Barbados though, right?
Well, this is my first time in the Derby.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so we're looking forward to it, and I'm wishing you the best of luck as well. First timer here at the Derby, so we're going to see what happens, catching all the big action. The nerves are not taking over, but the vibes are definitely taking over. So we'll bring you more action right here on SportsMax.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the owner of Caribbean Kitten, Steve Samaru. So those points of bereavement, Salt. I was told by Linden Yard earlier today that we've lost D.D. Haynes, Mr. D.D. Haynes, one of the part owners of Northern Lady, who'll be running in the Derby today. Northern Lady, so D.D. Haynes died recently, and his most famous horse, 9.69. So I want to send condolences to the family of D.D. Haynes on behalf of the SportsMax team for the loss of their stalwart. And then horse number 17, Drogon, bred by Peter Odell and Philip Mosley. Well, we recently lost Philip Mosley. Philip Mosley, an attorney at law and former president of the Barbados Turf Club, dying recently. And Philip won the Barbados Derby in 1986 with Paddy Bird. So Paddy Bird carried Philip Mosley's colours to success in the Barbados Derby in 1986. And we want to say thank you, well, we want to send condolences rather to the families of both men. Cece has another interview for us. We go downstairs to her.
Okay, so I thought that my co-anchors, Salt and George, were just dapper, but we have Alan Bay here. The Derby brings out everyone, and you are resplendent in your beige and yellow, correct?
Yes, I am the king of swag.
The king of swag.
Straight out of Harlem. I'm the Garrison General. I dress up each and every Saturday at the races, just bringing a little flavor.
Okay, so how did I do you think? I brought my blue because it is Barbados. It is the BTMI Visit Barbados Race Day. So I brought my blue, and you have your yellow. I think we go quite well together.
Yes, I think it's a blend.
All right, so I know you're being called out because you're going to lead the horses out, right?
I'm going to lead the jockeys out.
All right, so he's gone to lead the jockeys out, and that's why he's dressed so dapper. The king of swag, the king of the Garrison. So all the characters right here, kings, queens, and hopefully race day champions.
Thank you very much. Well, he watches a lot of SportsMax. He approached me the last time I was here for the Midsummer Classic to say that, hey, George, I hear them say that you dress well. I won't tell you, you can't dress like me. And I looked at him and I said, you're right, I can't dress like you.
His name is Bidge, and he is well known across Barbados for his dressing. I actually saw him enter a competition at a best dress competition at his staff party for the Sandals Hotel.
He didn't lose, did he?
He actually lost.
He lost?
He came
Oh my God. Oh my
Yes.
God. All right. All right. The card, the race card. You've been waiting for it. Here we go. Number 1 is, well, race 7 is the Visit Barbados Derby. That's not the one we have up on the screen. We have the last, and that's race 6, so we need to clear that and put in race 7. Number 1 is Priscilla, ridden by jockey Daniel for Robert Pierce. Thank you very much. Number 2 is War Party. That's K. John riding for...
John will be the trainer.
Well, John is the trainer. There was no jockey listed in the official form book here. Number 3 is Harley's Dream to Sean Hazelwood for Robert Pierce. Then 4 is Leah.
Leah would have run early.
Run early, so she's not in the event, of course, because they have to have 12 horses, not 18.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Another Bullet. That one is out of this race as well. Then number 6, Order of St. George will run. Delano Lopez rides for Philip Webster. Philip Webster came to see me earlier, Salt. He says he has never felt better about anything than he does about the chances of Order of St. George. He said, George, Order of St. George is going to run a cracking race, and with his best effort, he thinks he can win. So the trainer is brimming with confidence that number 6, Order of St. George, will get the job done. Simba ran earlier and won, so he's out of this event. Number 8 is Hot Stepper, who finished second in the Midsummer Creole Classic. A very eye-catching run from Andrew Nunes' finish. He'll be ridden by Jelani Beckles. Number 9 is Pace, Tom Trotman in the saddle for trainer Joseph. Number 10 is Social Media, Ray Williams rides for trainer Medford. Then it's number 11, Ricky Walcott aboard Naz Issa's Let It Be Me. I'll tell you a story about that one in short order. Then number 12 is Everly, Knights rides for trainer Lovell. And number 13 is Northern Lady out of the former Derby winner Northern Star. Thorpe rides for trainer Joseph. Manx ran earlier today, so out of this one. Number 15 is Caribbean Kitten. Badal rides for Clark. Then number 16, the Midsummer Creole Classic champion, impressive in victory, Matilda. Rashid Hughes for Victor Cheeseman, who you would remember told me after the Midsummer Creole Classic that they won't beat me in the Derby. That's what he said. Matilda, number 16. Number 17 is Drogon. Drogon is number 17, and then number 18 is Amaretta. Antonia Bishop for Dean. Number 18 on the outside is Amaretta. Let's see if we see any early betting on the board. No, but we're seeing some scratches. Of course, we told you that 6 and 7 won't run. Well, number 7 won't run for sure, Simba. And number 12 is scratched. Number 14 is scratched. 12 would be, that would be Everley, and 14 Manx are out. And 5 is out, 7 is out, 12 is out, 14 is out, because of course they had to get this field down to the maximum 18. Yes, as we see the shot. Thank you, my friend. And the jockeys, jolly mood.
Yeah,
but
as soon Bishop and Perch walking out there back to back.
Yeah, but pretty soon the mood will turn serious. So at this point, no, Salt, imagine that you're an owner, you have a horse who you believe have an excellent chance. Do you try to overload the jockey with instruction, or do you just try to keep him as cool as possible so that he doesn't have any added pressure riding with?
Well, it depends on the jockey, the temperament of the jockey. We see the trainer Naz Issa embracing his jockey before they go about their duties. So they seem to have a special relationship between the two of them. I'm looking to see which horse that would be that Naz is training in this race.
That would be Let It Be Me.
Let It Be Me.
Number 11.
Yeah.
Ricky Walcott.
Yeah, he really seem to have a close bond between the two of them as they approach this race. Let It Be Me being number 11.
Yep.
After the interview that CC had with the owner of Caribbean Kitten, I will admit that's my sentimental favorite now, because the owner has said he has lots of success, but he has not won. So.
That was special.
Yes.
That was a gem. Only Caribbean people give you that kind of narrative. So Naz Issa is wearing the red cap, the red baseball cap. And Ricky Walcott just walked away. Let's go to here. Let's go to this point. As you viewers of SportsMax, and especially at the track with Lance Whitaker, would know, and I would have seen a lot of Ricky Walcott over time and his exploits as a jockey in Canada. So he's vastly experienced, Ricky Walcott, and he's here to lend his expertise to Let It Be Me in this event. The Walcott brothers are staples on the at the track segment, especially for their exploits at Woodbine Racetrack and other tracks in Canada, Asinboa Downs and others. All right, Let It Be Me ran so badly in the Midsummer Creole Classic. She was prominent, turned for home prominent, but then blew up at the top of the straight to finish beaten into 5th place, 12 lengths behind Matilda. So I was scratching my head and wondering, well, what could explain such a performance after she had won the Guineas in such fine style, beating Major Dan? No, I told you about my conversation with the Railbirds earlier, Salt, and they were telling me that horse, number 11 in the shot on the screen there, Let It Be Me, that horse had a virus on the morning of the race, and that it affected the performance of Let It Be Me. They said that they felt that way based on the run. Then the trainer came out days later to confirm that the horse did have a virus. Now, if you think that trainer Naz Issa is just playing mind games, why would he? He's a trainer who's won this Derby 3 times already. He won it in 1998, won it in 2006, won it in 2010. He knows what it takes to prepare a Derby winner, and he's not trying to fool punters. He said that his horse was off on Midsummer Classic Day, and the manner of the performance suggests that the horse was off for real. And one hopes that for Naz Issa's sake, Let It Be Me is as right as rain this afternoon.
I hope so, as well as we look at the other horses. Number 8 is on the screen right now, and that's Hot Stepper, ridden by Beckles and trained by Nunes. What do you think of this one, number 8, Hot Stepper?
Number 8, well, first of all, let's start with Andrew Nunes, because it took him forever, the Jamaican, outstanding Jamaican trainer, to win his first Barbados Derby. He did that in 2007, and then he has reeled off 3 more for good measure. He won in 2011, won in 2012, and won in 2021. So Andrew Nunes now has that monkey off his back a long time ago. He knows how to prepare a Derby winner. I think that this horse's run in that Midsummer Creole Classic was outstanding. So
yeah.
I've watched that replay about 17 times, and I've been looking at individual horses, how they've run behind Matilda. I've looked at Order of St. George, his performance. I think he ran a very good race. Hot Stepper's run was even better in my book, because she came from so far off the pace. If you look at the placings in the statistics book, she was making up ground the further they went. And I think with the additional real estate, the additional furlong in this race, she will be seen to very good advantage. I think she is a serious danger to our favorite in this event.
Coming out of the Midsummer Classic, I've been looking to see which horse I think would make the 2,000 meters. As you said, that extra 200 meters is going to make a difference this evening, and I like the chances of Hot Stepper.
Right. As we look at number 8,
that's Hot Stepper, yeah.
Yeah, that's Hot Stepper, right. We were looking at number 3 earlier, Harley's Dream, to Sean Hazelwood, for Robert Pierce, a winner the last time, but not expected to trouble the principals here. Fact of the matter is, I looked at that Midsummer Classic as well for clues, because I was saying, how did such a slow pace manage to collapse it the way it did? Because Matilda, she went in serious pursuit of the leaders 2 furlongs out. She ran by them as if they were standing, left them for dead at the top of the lane, to the extent that our jockey, her jockey, could stand tall in the irons as he approached the finish line. So comfortable was he in the moment, and so far behind him were his dangers. So you go a slow pace and the pace collapses. You know, you're a racing man. You know that a fast pace is what collapses. You go fast early and you pay a price later.
Yeah.
But when they went so slow, you didn't expect the horses who were prompting the pace to fall away so meekly. So the Midsummer Classic, it's a mixed bag. It was a true indicator of what some horses were capable of, but it's also a bad run for some horses that you can draw a line through the run. You can forgive them for not running well in the Midsummer Classic and have renewed hope that they'll do themselves justice in a race of this nature.
Very, very true. And we want to thank the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. for sponsoring this Derby, the Visit Barbados Derby, as we start to get some odds for you as we look at the horses going down to the start. They're going to be running 10 furlongs. That's 2 circuits of the Garrison Savannah. We're going to be the longest distance that any of these horses have run so far. We have a lot of experienced jockeys. One of the experienced jockeys that I have also taken note of today, George, would be Bishop, on
Antonio Bishop.
Yeah, Antonio Bishop.
A 4-time champion,
four-time champion,
yes.
but with different connections this time.
Yes, 4-time Derby winner, Antonio Bishop. Let's look at the early betting. We're going to come to him in short order again, my friend. Number 1, Priscilla, is at 16 to 1. 3, Harley's Dream, is at 10 to 1. Number 6 is at 9 to 1. That's Order of St. George. They're betting there. Good money on Order of St. George. That's a good gamble. Number 8 is at 9 to 2. That's Hot Stepper, second in the Midsummer Creole Classic. Number 9 is at 15 to 1. That's Pace, who could be doing some pace work in this field. Number 10, Social Media, is at 4 to 1. 7 to 1, number 11, Let It Be Me. So it looks as if they've forgiven her for that bad run on last. Number 12, Everlay, is a scratch. Number 13 is at 37 to 1. That's Northern Lady. Then number 15, Caribbean Kitten. 15, Caribbean Kitten, is at 13 to 1. 7 to 5, the favorite, number 16, Matilda. 7 to 5, number 16, Matilda. And then on her outside, number 17 is at 25 to 1. That's Drogon. And number 18, Amaretta, is also at 25 to 1. So 28 to 1 for number 18, Amaretta. 7 to 5, our favorite, Matilda, in the betting. As we look at it on the screen there, just giving you a shot of the totalizator board, a tote board for short. The favorite is now at 6 to 5, Matilda. Let's talk about Matilda again, because as I noted, she hit top gear 2 furlongs out on the bend. And by the time she straightened up, she was full of running. Nobody could have responded to that injection of pace from her, that turn of foot from her at that point. Everybody was left flat-footed, and she coasted home and eased with her. Do you think the additional 200 meters, that additional furlong, will aid or hinder her chances of winning this this final jewel in the Triple Crown?
Or once, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to get away with that this evening again. I think it will have to be a bit of overthinking by the other trainers and owners, thinking that they're playing games, but I don't expect them to let Matilda come and take control of the race for long and a half away from the finish and romp to victory this time. She's going to get challenges.
Yeah, there's a horse in here that I expect to be on the front line, because again, the pace, I mean, horse racing, like no other sport, it makes a fool of you, because you can analyze a set of data, spot certain trends, apply those trends to a race under consideration, and then you look like a fool because the outcome has nothing to do with the trends that you've analyzed. And then you say, okay, I'm going to abandon those trends. And then the next race, you abandon those trends, and then the trends point the way to the winner. That's how horse racing is. So we need something now, Salt, to look at the pace angle. There's a horse here, number 9, Pace, who has won 3 of its 6 lifetime starts. It comes into this race on 2 consecutive victories, bidding for the hat-trick this afternoon. But those wins and those good performances have come over distances well short of 2,000 meters.
Half the distance.
Half the distance. So I mentioned that horse because Tom Trotman has taken the ride, and maybe Tom Trotman, a wily old fox, may want to go in front with this horse, give her a breather, kick again 2.5 furlongs from home and say, catch me if you can. And in a race of this nature with a track like this, he could conceivably get away. But is it realistic to think that a horse that has won at 5.5 furlongs 3 times in her career so far is good enough to beat the best 3-year-olds over 2,000 meters on this kind of race course?
I do not believe so, but I will say that Tom Trotman is the best front-running jockey on the island. So he's proven it time and time again. He's also proven to us over and over again that we should not count him out. We haven't looked at Ray Williams on the Midsummer Classic. He had a bit of a tumble in the gates before the race.
He was kicked at the gate,
and so he should be back here and fighting fit on social media this evening. What do you think of the other chances, number 10?
All right, number 10, social media. I'm looking at the pace angle, and I don't think that if social media wins, it will come from off the pace. I can see social media prompting the pace or leading. So I expect pace, social media to be 2 of those at or near the front. And I expect Matilda to be sitting in their slipstream, Order of St. George to be some way back, Hot Stepper to be some way back, and then those 2 make their decisive moves late. So I'm trying to map out how the race will go from the gate, and I think social media is one of those who will be prompting that early pace and trying to steal a march on rivals at an opportune moment in the contest.
What about Let It Be Me then?
Let It Be Me is a very interesting entry, because what this horse proved in the Guineas is that she can rate. She's versatile. She can run off the pace. She can run on the front end, or she can sit just off the leaders. And she did that brilliantly. Mind you, she got a beautiful trip in the Guineas. In the Midsummer Classic, she got a good trip as well, but as I said, inexplicably blew up at the top of the lane. But as we are hearing now, this horse had a virus that affected her on the day. It's just as if you had the flu one day and you feel weak. You run, but you're not quite yourself. You're not 100%. You play football, you're not 100%. Let It Be Me ran, the Railbirds are saying, in those kind of conditions, in that kind of health, not the best of health, on Midsummer Cruel Classic Day. And so everyone is telling me, George, don't be fooled. You need to throw that run through the window. Give her another chance, because she's going to be prominent near the pace. She's going to kick off the bend coming into the home turn, and that, they say, will be the decisive move. But, my friend, I think there are stamina limitations around Let It Be Me.
I'm not sure about the limitations of that horse, because I really like Ricky Walker as a jockey. He's a fearless jockey. He's proven it time and time again that he will go for the gap. he will go for the gap. And I expect, given the fact that Major Dan and Indelible, we haven't seen them since the Guineas, I'm expecting Let It Be Me to be the one to really beat here today.
Let It Be Me. So I went for Let It Be Me in the Midsummer Creole Classic, and I got my nose busted. This man going further is going for Let It Be Me this afternoon. I'm not ready to pick yet. I'm still talking about the runners and their challenges. Number 8, Hot Stepper, as we noted, Jelani Beckles rode for Andrew Nunes in the Midsummer Classic. So listen to this. 4 furlongs from home, Hot Stepper was 11th by 11 lengths. 2 furlongs from home, she was 11th by 13 lengths, even further than she was at the half mile, 4 furlongs out. 2 furlongs out, well, a furlong out, 8th by 6 3/4 lengths, and at the finish was 2nd by 2 1/4 lengths. So in 4 furlongs, this horse made up 9 1/4 lengths, almost 9 lengths in those 4 furlongs off the bend, weaving around and trying to find the best path. I'm suggesting to you that that was a run too good to ignore. Again, Railbirds have said to me, George, Hot Stepper doesn't have the class. And I say, well, horses don't know who have class. Horses just run. Hot Stepper ran in the Midsummer Creole Classic like a horse who has serious ability and who will love every inch of this 2,000 meters contest. And that's why I think Andrew Nunes has a potential Derby winner here this afternoon if she gets a good trip this afternoon.
I don't want to be harsh on Hot Stepper, but I haven't watched the Midsummer Classic several times as well. I still wondered to myself if that was a case of a good finish by Hot Stepper or poor finishing by the rest of the field, because as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it was a collapsing field at that time as well.
But here's the point. That's an excellent point to make. But the reason that she can point to her form defeating the point is because the horses who collapsed in front of her, causing her to finish a fast finishing second, are back here again. Yeah. Those are mainly the horses who are back here again, and they're going further. So if judiciously ridden, Hot Stepper should be seen to good advantage. Now, here is where the detractors for Hot Stepper have a point. If you ignore that run the last occasion and look at the previous 4 runs, 8th by 11 lengths, 5th by 29 lengths, 11th by 27 lengths, 8th by 16 lengths, no form to report for Hot Stepper. Poor form, running poor races, came alive the last time. So that's why people are uncertain. But I'm telling you, the eye test rarely fails. And based on what I saw with my own eyes, that was a performance in the Midsummer Classic to warrant the world of respect in a derby of this nature.
And being consistent to my points, in those last 4 races, Hazelwood Road, then Trotman, then Perch, then Knights. And now today she's being partnered by Gerald Beckles. So switching jockeys all the time is just not indicative of a horse that would garner my support today.
Well, more to the point, Beckles rode the last time and he retains the ride this afternoon.
The ride, yes.
So let's see if that is any good. Order of St. George is number 6, and as we said, Philip Webster has said that this horse is primed to deliver a capital effort. The Railbirds have told me no, but the trainer came, he looked into my eyes, he shook my hand, he said, George, maybe the day of my birth is a day that can rival how I feel about this horse. That's a serious thing to say for a trainer. And he believes that this horse, who only has 4 runs under his belt, is very much underexposed. He believes that Order of St. George is so progressive that he is going to land the gamble this afternoon. And looking at the tote board, number 6 is at 10-1, drifting out slightly, Order of St. George. At 10-1 now, there is, though, a lot of support at 10-1 for number 6, Order of St. George. Do you think a minor place is his best hope, or do you see him with a big chance of winning?
Just a bit of anecdote here. Groomed by Corey McDonald, a former national basketball player here for Barbados. So he has a bit of a sentiment among the BABA community for sure. Order of St. George, you being a George yourself.
Yes, sir.
And me being from St. George, that's as far as I will go with my sentiments. To this
there you go, Salt. I leave it to you to string it together. Let's look at the betting once again. Number 1, the loading of procedure is well advanced. Priscilla is at 19-1. 11-1, number 3, Harley's Dream. Then they bet 10-1, number 6. That's Order of St. George. Then we're going to talk about number 8, Hot Stepper, who's at 9-2. 19-1, number 9, Pace. Number 10, Social Media, is at 9-2. 7-1, number 11. That is Let It Be Me. And number 13 is at 50-1. That's Northern Lady.
Yes, 13, 15-1.
50-1, yes. The flash is going to come again. I'm going to tell you the rest of it. Number 15 is at 10-1. That's Caribbean Kidney. Even money now, Matilda. Even money on the betting board, Matilda. Number 17, Drogon, is 23-1, and then 36-1, number 18, Amaretta, the number 18, the final horse in the lineup. Let's go across to our commentator for this. The Visit Barbados Derby 2023, moments away from a start.
Just 2 more to load. Your pre-race favorite, Matilda. Smallish filly, but with a huge heart. Lots of talent. And Amaretta will be the last to join the lineup. Amaretta goes in. The lights flashing. Racing, the 2023 Visit Barbados Derby is on its way. Order of St. George popped away smartly, but Pace is the one who goes through to pick it up along with Northern Lady. These two dispute the lead. There's a break of about 2 or 3 lengths before we get to Let It Be Me, down the inside of Order of St. George. Matilda is the next one through. They got just about a mile to go, and behind Matilda we can find Caribbean Kitten, Amaretta, then Harley's Dream down the inside Social Media. Towards the outside of Social Media is Hot Stepper. Caribbean Kitten and Drogon are the last pair into the stretch the first time. The opening quarter, 26 flat. And Northern Lady has opened up a 4-length advantage with a circuit to go. Northern Lady leads from on the outside, Let It Be Me, down the inside is Pace. Order of St. George, Priscilla between horses. Towards her outside, 3 wide is Matilda. Amaretta being niggled along is 4 wide. They head towards a 5 furlong marker. And it is Northern Lady. That lead comes right back down to just about a length. On the outside, Let It Be Me and Ricky Walker going up. Also taking closer orders, Amaretta. Between horses is Priscilla. Towards the outside of Priscilla is Matilda. As they round the far turn, Hardy's Dream is next one through. Down the inside, Social Media goes nicely. As they round the far turn, the half mile completed in 50 and 3, 6 furlongs in 1:21:04. They're at the top of the hill. They go past Brigade House. It is Let It Be Me who's just the leader. Social Media races in second. Amaretta is third. Matilda has 5 lengths to find. That's the first 4 with a quarter mile left to travel. It's Let It Be Me as Social Media comes sweeping by. It's Social Media who opens up by 2. Let It Be Me is in second. Amaretta staying on. Here's Hot Stepper with a grand run. And there are no more turns in the Derby. And Social Media is in command on the outside. Hot Stepper trying to close. This Social Media from Hot Stepper. Social Media staying on resolutely and is going to win the Derby. Social Media, what a performance, is going to win the Derby. Wins it now. The rider celebrates. On the outside, Hot Stepper is second. Matilda the favorite is third. A good run from Caribbean Kitten. Rounds out the top 4. The winner came home in 2:18 and 4. In a moment, a recap for you.
10-8, 16-15, 10-8, 16-15. We have long been in the Social Media era, and Ray Williams for trainer Medford makes it look easy aboard this 3-year-old bay colt by In One. Are You Serious? By Happy Memories, bred by Andre Medford, who's also the trainer, groomed by Wilbert Byfield, owned by Star Empire. 6 runs before this afternoon, 1 win. Mark, make that seven lifetime performances, and this, her second win. Social Media made hacks of opponents in the end. A brave run by Hot Stepper, who proved that the Midsummer Creole Classic run was no fluke, but she just ran out of road in the end. Patrick Salt Bellamy.
Yes, excellent ride by Ray Williams. In the pre-race broadcast, we mentioned the fact that he had gotten hurt prior to the Midsummer Classic, and we were wondering if that would have impacted the performance on that day. We see today fighting fit, both Ray Williams and Social Media. As you said, we are in the Social Media era, and Ray Williams dominant from 2 furlongs out, taking control of the race. Hot Stepper tried his best to get back on terms, but it was no chance after Ray had really settled the horse onto the home stretch, passing the line with enough comfort that he could blow a kiss to the crowd.
Well. What do we have here? Social Media. You know, we spoke about the Midsummer Classic, and we mentioned that the dominant horses in the Midsummer Classic were fillies. this afternoon. A colt has beaten them all. Social media, a colt has bested all his compatriots, all his colleagues, all his counterparts, and won with something in hand. Hot Stepper the filly, getting the weight allowance, the 4-pound weight allowance, fought gallantly, ran on, but just ran out of rope as we look at the unofficial results. 10-8, 16-15, that's how I call it. The favorite, Matilda, came home third, and the fourth horse, Caribbean Kitten, coming in fourth. And you said you had a sentimental attachment based on the comments of the owner of Caribbean Kitten.
Yes.
And perhaps your sentiment gave her some extra energy to finish fourth in this event.
Let's watch the race again.
Visit Barbados Derby is on its way. Order of Sir George popped away smartly, but Pace is the one who goes through to pick it up along with Northern Lady. These two dispute the lead. There's a break of about 2 or 3 lengths before we get to Let It Be Me. Down the inside of Order St. George. Matilda is the next one through. They got just about a mile to go. And behind Matilda, we can find Caribbean Kitten, Amaretta. Then Harley's Dream. Down the inside, Social Media. Towards the outside of Social Media is Hot Stepper. Caribbean Kitten and Drogon are the last pair into the stretch the first time. The opening quarter, 26 flat. And Northern Lady has opened up a 4-length advantage with a circuit to go. Northern Lady leads from on the outside, Let It Be Me. Down the inside is Pace. Order of St. George, Priscilla between horses. Towards her outside, 3 wide is Matilda. Amaretta being niggled along is 4 wide. They head towards a 5 furlong marker. And it is Northern Lady. That lead comes right back down to just about a length. On the outside, Let It Be Me and Ricky Walker going up. Also taking closer orders, Amaretta. Between horses is Priscilla. Towards the outside of Priscilla is Matilda. As they round the far turn, Hardy's Dream is next one through. Down the inside, Social Media goes nicely. As they round the far turn, the half mile completed in 50 and 3. 6 furlongs in 1:21 and 4. They're at the top of the hill. They go past Brigade House. It is Let It Be Me who's just the leader. Social Media races in second. Amaretta is third. Matilda has 5 lengths to find. That's the first 4 with a quarter mile left to travel. It's Let It Be Me as Social Media comes sweeping by. It's Social Media who opens up by 2. Let It Be Me is in second. Amaretta staying on. Here's Hot Stepper with a grand run. And there are no more turns in the Derby. And Social Media is in command on the outside. Hot Stepper trying to close. This Social Media from Hot Stepper. Social Media staying on resolutely and is going to win the Derby. Social Media, what a performance, is going to win the Derby. Wins it now. The rider celebrates. On the outside, Hot Stepper is second. Matilda the favorite is third. A good run from Caribbean Kitten. Rounds out the top 4. The winner came home in 2:18 and 4. In a moment, a recap for you.
I'll be asking about that. No, man, I know you come second. The Andrew Nunes, the trainer of Hot Stepper, second in the Midsummer Creole Classic, running on this afternoon again, but not enough road. Your assessment of your filly's performance today?
I'm very pleased with her. The winner got led through on the inside and kind of got the first run on me, and I just couldn't make it up in the end.
I saw you talking to your jockey. Was he relaying to you that he got stuck? He got some traffic trouble on the road?
He said he kept on the outside for most of the way because he didn't want to get stuck on the inside, and he said he couldn't believe when they let through Social on the inside. So
2 good runs, back-to-back classics. If you keep this filly fit, what do you hope she can achieve for you?
Well, I think we thought that she was a stayer early on when she ran on in her first 2 two-year races. Then she ran 4 poor races, but we found out that she was suffering from an infection, and we dealt with that, and from that she's come back and run 2 nice races. So she's a small filly, so hopefully she'll start furnishing out as she gets older and see where we go from here. Maybe the Tanglewood or something like that later on down.
I know that horses are finicky creatures. Let's hope she comes out of this well and that you can keep her nice and sound beyond this point.
Thanks, George.
All right, Andrew Nunes there, the 4-time winner of the Derby. His Hot Stepper finishing second in the big event today, the Visit Barbados Derby 2023.
Yes, thank you very much, George. Talking there to the trainer of a hot stepper as social media is being ridden by Ray Williams, going off this morning's odds at a 9-2 and trained by A. Medford. We really enjoyed that run. We just watched the replay. Social media, as Nunez said, was let in. Had a beautiful run, 2 furlongs out, taking control of the race. And Ray just riding her all the way home. Hot stepper trend is best, her best, sorry. As I said, had a beautiful run on the outside consistently, but not having enough at the end of the stretch run to make it to the finishing line in front. So your winner of the 2023 Barbados Derby, the Visit Barbados Derby, ridden by Ray Williams. We say congratulations once again to social media, owned by Star Empire, groomed by Wilbert Byfield, and bred by Andre Medford. And that horse took along 123 pounds, a coat, not a filly, I should say. And congratulations to the connections of social media. We still have one more race left on today's card, and that race is going to be the Pride of Barbados condition race, and that's going to be featuring some of Barbados' best horses. So I want you to stay tuned here as we have Zico, a Renaissance Frolic, Brilliant News, Jocular, Vividly, Sir Jimmy, Zaid, and So Suave, all gearing up to face the starter in the final race of today's card. This is the Visit Barbados Derby right here. You're watching SportsMax, the home of champions. Myself, Salt, alongside C.C. Reed and George Davis, taking you through this evening's proceedings. And thank you all, guys, so much as we once again congratulate the connections of social media for winning the 2023 Barbados Derby, the Visit Barbados Derby, and congratulations to them, and thanks a lot to the BTMI for their support and sponsorship of racing at the historic Garrison Savannah. Throughout the day, we've seen the features by CC as we took you to Oystins, as you saw what you get to do when you visit Barbados. We also saw her visit the museum, and we're going to throw the George back down there in the parade ring as he has another interview to us. Over to you, George.
Social media. Trainer Medford, congratulations, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
What was your race plan?
Well, I just needed a clean trip because the first race we won, it was disqualified. So all we needed was a clean trip. You know, we had the horse, so we just needed a clean trip. So I was mainly studying a clean trip.
The horse ran its last race coming into this event, but even then, I didn't hear a lot of the railbirds talking about social media's chances. It was all about Matilda, Let It Be Me, and Hot Stepper. So you crept under the radar.
Yeah, well, you know, as on paper, the trainer never win a derby, never run in a derby for this more. So you know what I mean. You can't fight against that, and it was good for the team because the team probably gets some odds. You know what I mean. So we got the rest, man. We don't really worry about everything straight.
At what point did you start feeling as if you had this in the bag? Because he had a good position of the final turn, and they let him through on the inside.
Yeah, like from the fourth furlong, when they see he start to move because on morning workouts that we get aggressive. So once they see he moving in the rest, they know he ain't gonna start moving. You know what I mean? So the rest is history. Everything.
And coming up the straight, I mean, you're a history man. Your first starter in the Derby. Yeah. Your first time owning a horse starting in the Derby, and your first time breeding a horse. That record will never be broken.
It was a plan.
It was always a plan. So, I mean, coming up the straight, you saw Ray standing tall in the irons. Was that the moment when you said, I am a Derby champion?
Well, you can say so, yeah. But when you see him moving, you know well, they got to run. And the rest was packing up too. The rest wasn't even running all at him. So, yeah, I down on the rest was. Then they start coming to the gate to collect him.
Andre, when you look at the potential of this horse, I know that horses are tricky. They can come out of a race and they come out with lame and other issues. But if this horse stays sound, what do you think you can achieve with him?
Well, I don't really want. Well, that is a question mark for me, no. But normally, every race he comes out better. You know what I mean? So I ain't looking for no change here. I'm looking for a better horse for this race. So yeah, we can get some more trouble.
How old are you, Andre?
33.
You're 33 years old and a Derby winner at 33.
Yeah, finally.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Good. The tall man of Barbados horse racing, Ray Williams, walks into the shot, the jockey. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Take me from the gate.
First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for taking me around there safe, for this talent. Thanks to my family, thanks to my mom and dad especially, who've been supporting me 100, and my friends all around the world, and just so blessed in this position. I didn't really get a good break away from there. I thought I was behind the ball a bit, but then he was traveling so easy, I just didn't want to be stuck on the rail. So I had the world of confidence in this horse. He's been training great. He's been working beautifully up to this point, so I just knew if I could just tip out at the right time and just be a little patient, don't be too anxious, because obviously, it's my first Derby, but yeah, it worked out great. All thanks to God above, and hopefully we can do it again next year.
When you 4 furlongs out, you got that break on the inside to come right through. Did you work your way to the inside?
Northern Lady. These two dispute the lead. There's a break of about 2 or 3 lengths before we get to Let It Be Me. Down the inside is Order St. George.
We're going pretty easy. I didn't want to use someone else too early, and then the going's a bit heavy on them, it's a bit taxing, so I didn't want to jump the gun and then be a fall short late in the race.
Turning for home, you were full of running. Did you at any time fret that something could run you down?
Well, it's horse racing. You never know. I was a little nervous, if I'm being honest. I took a peek and I saw Hot Stepper coming up, but I said, oh no, he's coming a little too late. So I knew I had it from maybe about 16th out.
Well, Wraith, I wanted to toast this victory. Very, very well done, and I hope this is the first of many.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good, good, good. Ray Williams there, our champion Barbados 2023 Derby, the champion for 2023. On the inside, well, on the outside, Let It Be one off the rail, comes through to lead at this point. And you felt that the experience of Let It Be Me's jockey was
Ricky
telling
Walker.
here, and he was trying to steal a march at this point. But look where social media is. from mid-pack to third in no time, and then he gets a split right there.
Here, this is why when you said the remnants, the aftermath, I thought that was a fitting term. Because from here, they were done and dusted. As Edwin here would have said in his song this year, who ain't hurt, badly wounded.
Who ain't hurt, badly wounded, that's true. Because the stamina limitations of much of the field begin to tell right here. Social media is just relishing it. Now look at Hot Stepper on the outside in the yellow noseband, coming forward as she did in the Midsummer Classic.
See, we're looking almost taunting.
Yep, absolutely. But you heard Andrew Nunes, the trainer of the second place finisher, Hot Stepper, say that the jockey he didn't get the break that he needed, and social media got the break, and that was the difference in the end. Ray Williams punching there, a job well done by the young man.
Yeah, really good to see those connections taking home the 2023 Visit Barbados Derby.
Yep, all right. BTMI, they're the reason we are here. The good people at Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. and CC has another interview with one of their officials.
And here we are with another member of the team BTMI, April Thomas. First of all, congratulations on a wonderful showing of the Visit Barbados Derby race day. How are you feeling after that amazing race?
Honestly, it brought me back to the Sand Lane Gold Cup all over again, and I'm so happy that that was our vision, to get it brought up to that level where it's getting that awareness. And if you saw people running, screaming for social media, it was an amazing race to watch, and just really happy to see how well it turned out.
Okay, so I know your forte actually, I must confess, earlier today I did have something to eat, I did have something to drink. Compliments of you and your team, because your team is responsible for the Food and Rum Festival in Barbados.
Correct. So we're all in the heat of crop over, yes, it's so true. But coming up next, right on the heels of crop over, is the Barbados Food and Rum Festival. It's our annual celebration of all that's food, all that's rum. We are the birthplace of rum. We've been bottling and producing rum the longest. And so this year, October 19th to 22nd, once again, we're going to be celebrating the Food and Rum Festival with 4 days of amazing events. There's fun for the whole family. There's all types of events that are going to be happening.
Okay, now earlier in the program, we did a feature on Oystins. Now, Oystins Under the Stars is a very special event within the Food and Rum Festival as well, because it's outdoors, it's in Oystins. So just give us a little bit rundown of those 4 major events for the Food and Rum Festival.
Sure. So the Food and Rum Festival kicks off on a Thursday night, as you just said, with Oystins Under the Stars. And that has been a staple for us for so many years, because anybody who knows Barbados knows that Oystins just naturally is a hub of food. It's an open-air fish fry. It's karaoke. It's dancing. It's really something you've never seen before. So we always open on the Thursday night with that. On the Friday night, then, we introduced everybody to rum. I mentioned that we were the birthplace of rum. Correct. So Friday night is the rum route. And what that is a moving bus party and an opportunity for you to come out, drink all the rum, be transported so you don't have to worry about driving, and then we shuttle you back to your hotel if you're not you're not from Barbados. And then on Saturday, we have our brand new event. This is the Bajan Fair, happening at Kensington Oval, and it is 12 hours of rides, entertainment, food, rum, games. It is something that you can bring the whole family out to. We have a special rum area just for the adults, and then the kiddie zone, that's all games all day long. And then Saturday morning, one of our 2 signature events, the Rice and Rum Breakfast Beach Party. You cannot miss the Rice and Rum Breakfast Beach Party. And we do have a special regional performer who's going to be coming in for that, but we haven't announced that yet. So you have to stay tuned to our channels to find out. And then it all wraps up on Sunday with the Liquid Gold Feast. And that is a feast like no other. It is all inclusive, all drinks, all food, all rum. And of course, this year we're featuring Afrobeat star Ira Star, our sensation, and we're so happy to have her on the ground as well on the Sunday.
Okay, well, you just heard the full rundown. I'm going to be at all of the events. Food and Rum Festival right here in Barbados. So book your tickets for that now. So thank you so much. We have one more race to catch, so I know we're going to go back upstairs, get a little food, maybe a little rum, and watch the final race right here on SportsMax.
All right, thank you very much, CC. So we are here at the final event. It's the Pride of Barbados Trophy. It's a condition contest for the highest rated horses on the card. Some of the highest rated horses in the island. In fact, perhaps Dominos apart, these are the highest rated. And of course, it's a gamble. The winner of the Sand Lane Barbados Gold Cup, the only horse is missing. This is a race over 1,570 meters, and these are the runners. Number 1, Zico. The betting is on the board, so let's just tell you that. Number 1, Zico, is at 9-1. 2, Renaissance Frolic is at 9-2. They bet 17-1 on number 3, Brilliant News. Number 4 is at 2-1. That's Zaid. He's the favorite. Number 5, Sir Jimmy, is at 13-1. Number 6, So Suave, is at 12-1. They bet 2-1, Jocular. And then number 8, Vividly, is at 5-2. So numbers 3, 5, and 6 are the ones ignored in the betting somewhat, and those are not at long odds, 17-1, 15-1, 16-1 respectively. 2 horses at 2-1, but marginally the favorite is number 4, Zaid, at 2-1, just ahead of number 7, Jocular. Notice Jocular in the pre-parade. Jocular sweating up just a little bit, but this 5-year-old has run 10 times, has won 5 of those 10 races. Twice we've seen Jocular before in 2023, a winner on the last occasion, beating Dominus by a neck over 5.5 furlongs or 1,100 meters. Today, a different assignment. Carried 127 pounds to victory the last time at 1,100 meters. Carries 128 pounds today, going further at 1,570 meters. Do you think the handicapper has compromised Jocular's chances today?
Yes, it's carrying a lot of weight for a horse, but I think the lifetime earnings are starting to betray Jocular a bit there, and the handicapper is giving him a bit of a hard task today to carry along that much weight. Despite having a great jockey and Rashid Hughes on board, a 5-time champion here at the Garrison Savannah, we're not sure for sure if Jocular will live up to the expectations of the handicapper. 4 bandages, George.
Yeah.
I default to you on that.
There you go, there you go. And it tells its own story, to say that the Jocular running on shaky pins. Number 4 is Zaid. That's our favorite. Favorite now is Jocular at 9-5. New flash on the board. So the favoritism is changing hands between Jocular and Zaid. Jocular now at 2-1. It was 9-5 2 seconds ago. Now at 2-1, but marginally the favorite over that horse, number 4, Zaid. Zaid, a winner on the last occasion, beating So Suave and Brilliant News over 1,800 meters or 9 furlongs. Carried 110 pounds that day. 117 pounds in the back. Now, he has been treated well by the handicapper, and I think that he's handicapped to win. What say you, my friend?
I believe so as well. 117 points is nothing, right? And I think that you'll be hard tasked to catch that one coming down the stretch.
So Suave, number 6, as we look at number 4, very well presented, looking nice in the court.
That's Zaid.
Yeah, that's Zaid, yes. Very calm, very chilled out. And as I noted, Jocular was sweating up a lot. Not a bead of sweat on number 4, Zaid. Always a good sign when your horse is relaxed before a race. Horses are like people. The same way people get flustered, they get stressed out, they start thinking about other things, they're uncomfortable, they can't produce at their best because their other feelings compromise their ability to show their true worth on the racetrack. It's the same for a racehorse. So you want to see a racehorse who's calm going down, not fighting for its head, as we see number 6, So Suave, a piece of equipment being adjusted. So Suave just fighting for his head and the handler calling for assistance to get that piece of equipment. Maybe it's a tongue tie that he's adjusting, that strip of cotton to hold the tongue down onto the bottom of the mouth so that the air passage can be free, so that the horse can breathe freely as it gallops. Maybe that's the issue there.
John Marcos is sending 3 horses to this race. Number 1 is Zico, number 4 Zaid, and number 6 So Suave. So we've got to see if there's going to be any strategy being played in here. As we look at Sir David Seals' horses, Renaissance Frolic and Brilliant News, coming out of the 2 and 3 posts respectively. So a lot of gamesmanship may be played in this race. It is indeed the pride of Barbados coming to the starter.
Yes, indeed. And you speak of Renaissance Frolic. He's old. He's 8 years old. 2 runs in Barbados in his lifetime.
Yep.
But guess what? Those runs came 3 years apart. His debut effort came on March 7, 2020. His second run came 3 years later on March 4, 2023. But he didn't disgrace himself in that Gold Cup. He finished 4th, only beaten 2 1/4 lengths by It's a Gamble and company in that event. Renaissance Frolic comes here with Ray Williams, 128 pounds. Clearly has tons of ability, but has been unable to stay fit And I don't know about you. I'm taking him on trust here because I'm not sure how much juice is in these legs. Not even juice, because there's clearly ability there. If this horse is suffering enough pain to cause him to be able to produce his best effort, I think his best effort sees him winning this. But the injuries that have retarded his career will perhaps count against him in this event, number 2
We
Renaissance
can
Frolic.
see this horse normally only runs on the first weekend in March, which speaks to the pedigree. It's a Gold Cup horse, right? It's a big horse, so that's what we're going to look and see with a big jockey on him, where Williams just coming off of the rivalry of winning the Derby. So we will see if there's anything left over there in him as well. But I think that with this 2 Nunes horses, it may have to look at Brilliant News then.
Yeah, you may have to look at Brilliant News number 3, because this one finished 5th on the last occasion, going 5.5 furlongs, beaten by Sir Jimmy in that race. And we're going to come to Sir Jimmy in short order. 118 pounds. So again, the handicapper has treated Brilliant News rather well. Brilliantly.
Yes.
I'll take your word. Has treated Brilliant News brilliantly, and at 118 pounds, there's every possibility that Brilliant News could land the gamble. You know what? Well, let's take the break and we come back and we finish our assessment of the field. Before we do so, we can tell you that there are 8 horses declared. The quick odds once again before we go to the break. We're going to have to look at the tote board to get those odds. So I'm going to have to turn slightly from my commentary position here to
number
tell
1,
you that
Zico.
10-1. Number 2, Renaissance Frolic is at 4-1.
Number 3, Brilliant News.
At 14-1.
We have number 4, Zaid.
At 5-2.
Sir Jimmy is at
9-1.
So Suave is number 6.
9-1.
Jocular, number 7.
Or 2-1 favorite.
And Vividly, number 8.
Is at 3-1. That's how they bet in the Pride of Barbados Trophy, a condition contest, 1,570 meters, 7.8 furlongs if you are into old measurements. And we're taking a quick break, and we're coming right back for the start of this contest. It's the night pan here, if you may, at the Garrison Savannah on this Visit Barbados 2023 race day. The Derby is history. Social media striking the right chord with the punchers here and winning that one for the young jockey and trainer combination. Anthony Medford, the one who is celebrating breeder, owner, trainer, and Ray Williams, the tall man, is the jockey. They're off. Let's go to the commentator for this final event.
Absolutely level beginning. And as they come off the shooting onto the main course, Jocular is the one who's aggressively going to the lead. So Jocular in the blue and yellow colors, that's the leader. On the inside, Renaissance Frolic is second. With a circuit to go, these are tracked by Vividly, a break of about 2 lengths before we get to Zico, Sir Jimmy and Zaid. So Suave is next, and Brilliant News has all to pass as they head towards the 5 furlong marker. They've just got about 5 furlongs to go now. And it is on the inside Renaissance Frolic who just heads Jocular. They're about a length up on Vividly, another 4 back before we get to Zico and Sir Jimmy. Then there is Zaid, Brilliant News, and So Suave is your trailer. The opening quarter was completed in 25-3. The half mile, 49-2. They get over the hill, they've passed Brigade House and begin their run down towards the cannons. And it is Renaissance Frolic, just the leader, being hounded by Jocular. These two have been at each other's throats from the get-go. Vividly closes up the gap to join the fray. Down the inside is Zico, Sir Jimmy. Zaid has dropped away meekly. Inside the quarter pole they come. And it's on the outside, Jocular, who brings them into the stretch. On the outside, wider. Here comes So Suave. Between these is Vividly. And is on the outside, So Suave, who sweeps through and picks it up. It is So Suave who is on the in the middle of the course. Down the inside, Zico. Right on the outside, Zaid. But So Suave is going to report home a cheeky winner. Wins it by about 2. Tight second between on the inside, Zico and Vividly. Zaid rallied back to grab 4th, and the winner came home in 139-4. In a moment, recap for you.
6814, 6814. He looks as if he spotted a winner. That gentleman sharing it with his family. 6814, number 6. So Suave with a performance that was rather suave for John Mark Cozier and Anderson Tom Trotman, swooping down on rivals, widest of all, and ran away from them up the straight to win, as our commentator said, with a little bit in hand. And here's our head-on replay of the final furlong, and So Suave has the race in the bag right here. Tom Trotman timed it to perfection.
What I want to say about this race is that around the race to 5 this evening, our cameraman came up to me, not knowing anything about the form, but pointed to So Suave and asked me, explain to me what's going on here, looking at the digits. Does this mean, what does this mean? I explained that that's how the horse was running. And he said to me, that's my horse. And look at him here cheering right now. Just like that, that's the beauty of horse racing. That's what happens when you visit Barbados.
Absolutely so. 6814 are the final placings. And it's a great thing to bring the curtain down for breeder Belmont BS, Glenville BS, C. McAvoy, and MB Syndicate. The groom is Harry Carter. The owner, Mrs. Nalicia Cozier, John Mark Cozier, the trainer, and Anderson Tom Trotman with yet another win in a big race here at the Garrison. And many people have seen enough. They're going home already, CC.
Oh, no.
We
gotta watch to the very end. And congratulations to John Mark Cozier. He actually was his second win for today, I believe. And watching that recap once again, so exciting.
All right, let's take the replay from this point.
That's the leader. On the inside, Renaissance Frolic is second. With a circuit to go, these are tracked by Vividly, a break of about 2 lengths before we get to Zico, Sir Jimmy and Zaid. So Suave is next, and Brilliant News has all to pass as they head towards the 5 furlong marker. They've just got about 5 furlongs to go now, and it is on the inside Renaissance Frolic who just heads Jocular. They're about a length up on Vividly, another 4 back before we get to Zico and Sir Jimmy. Then there is Zaid, Brilliant News, and So Suave is your trailer. The opening quarter was completed in 25-3. The half mile, 49-2. They get over the hill, they've passed Brigade House and begin their run down towards the cannons. And it is Renaissance Frolic, just the leader, being hounded by Jocular. These two have been at each other's throats from the get-go. Vividly closes up the gap to join the fray. Down the inside is Zico. Sir Jimmy Zaid has dropped away meekly. Inside the quarter pole they come. And it's on the outside, Jocular, who brings them into the stretch. On the outside, wider. Here comes So Suave. Between these is Vividly. And is on the outside, So Suave, who sweeps through and picks it up. It is So Suave who is in the middle of the course. Down the inside, Zico. Right on the outside, Zaid, but So Suave is going to report home a cheeky winner. Visit by about 2. Tight second between on the inside, Zico and Vividly. Zaid rallied back to grab 4th, and the winner came home in 1:39.4. In a moment, recap for you.
Yeah, Tom Trotman drawing the curtain on what has been a cracking Visit Barbados Race Day 2023, featuring the Derby, of course, which went in fine style to social media. But So Suave just confirming, well, the unofficial placings in the final event. Number 6 So Suave beat 8 Vividly. Then came number 1 Zico, and 4th home was number 4 Zaid. The rest is for the statisticians and the place judge here at the Garrison to publish for your convenience. This point now of the broadcast is when we wrap up, and I want to ask the lady about her experience this afternoon, the people she's interviewed, the vibe that she's taken up, she's been a part of, and the 360-degree feeling of being a part of this Visit Barbados 2023 race day.
I must say, it's truly, truly amazing. You know, I saw characters, I spoke to some people that I knew, some trainers. Of course, we spoke to that family from Scotland who were here visiting, and they're like, hey, we've never been to Barbados. We wanted to come and experience racing at the Garrison. Is historic, so why not? One of my favorite interviews is one that you actually did, speaking to social media and the owner, the trainer, the jockey.
Breeder, yeah.
A first time. I think that story is so amazing, and I would like to know, I'm going to find them later to just have, like, maybe buy them a drink and find out more about that story, because it's such a great story for this, the first Visit Barbados Derby race day, and then to have that spectacular showing for them as well. So that was a highlight for me today. Young guys doing what they're passionate about, giving thanks to God. You know, we had the jockey, and it was truly, truly inspiring for me.
Excellent. Salt, your impressions of Visit Barbados Race Day 2023.
Oh, what a beautiful race day we had here. Nestled on and the second of 2 bank holidays in the midst of crop over. You still had this little bit of an oasis for us horse racing fans to come out and enjoy brilliant horse racing. You said just now that people have seen enough. They got a lot today. Not only did we see lots of action-packed horse racing, we had our RPB, Red Plastic Bag was here. TC was here. We had a parade. And then, of course, we had the brilliant food and rum of the BTMI, because it's the Visit Barbados Derby race day. Yeah.
Absolutely so. Well, it's been brilliant being a part of the broadcast team, being in your company once again. It's been great. We've done the Triple Crown series of races. Well, we didn't do the Guineas. We did the Gold Cup. We did the Midsummer Creole Classic. Now we're doing the Derby. We're back in December, SportsMax will be, to do some big races in December, because Boxing Day is
a huge day.
Yes,
huge. So I hate quoting Donald Trump, but he has a word I like very much. He says bigly. So SportsMax will go back on Boxing Day to do it bigly. Yeah, that's what we do. So, you know, it's been good. The racing has been brilliant. I really enjoy the racing. And like CC, I'm very happy that the story of the 2023 Derby is about a newcomer, a parvenu, someone newly risen in status. He now joins some of the greats of the Barbados turf as a Derby-winning trainer, a Derby-winning owner, and a Derby-winning breeder, all in his first attempt, and the man is just 32 years old.
Yeah, and I can imagine that in years to come, you are going to remember that interview. Hopefully, he's going to have several more successes to speak of, and you can start to tell them, well, I remember this first Derby. I went down to the parade ring, and I interviewed him, such a humble young man then, and 20 years on down the road, we're seeing what he has done after that. Yes.
Excellent. Well, on behalf of a crack team, it was really a crack team, a small team, but a brilliant team. But too many to name. I don't want to leave out anybody and cause any hurt feelings. I want to say thank you for tuning into the broadcast. And as one of the outstanding men of cricket from this part of the world, Andrew Mason would say, strike up the band. We're going home from SportsMax's coverage of the Visit Barbados 2023 race day. We'll see you again in December.